My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's special satsang, Shri Keshav Prasad. I'm very happy that Shri Keshav Prasad has come to our house. Keshav Prasad ji had divine intuition about healing effects of Soundarya Lahari. He has written volumes and volumes, 5 volumes, about 100 slokas and healing effects of Soundarya Lahari. He is blessed by the Divine Mother. Let us offer our respects to Divine Mother. On this occasion, it's her will that we are having a session today at this point of time. Keshav Prasad ji, we started a discussion. We'll start as a discussion and then go into sharing of his thoughts.
Sure.
So, Keshav Prasad ji, we were talking about Gnani, a wise person or enlightened person. We heard about an enlightened person who was somewhat disturbed by happening in this satsang. That's why we started our discussion. It's not important who is the whom we are speaking of. We are discussing here mainly from the point of view of understanding the spiritual truths. The very meaning of enlightenment is Dukeshu anudigmanaha, Sukeshu vigataspraha, Vitaraga bhayakrodaha, Sthitayi munuruchate. Not getting depressed when the circumstances are not favorable, not getting elated when the circumstances are joyful. Attraction, repulsion, being free from attraction and repulsion. This is the state of a Gnani. So what happens, sir? Everybody who gets Gnana, Vedanta Gnana, some knowledge, they start thinking that I'm already Brahman. Thinking that I'm Brahman and being Brahman, there's a difference, gap is there. Thinking that I'm realized and being realized, there's a gap. It's very difficult to understand the gap for a person who has that, and for other people also. It's very difficult. It's very subtle. Ego will take various forms. Ego is very subtle. It can take any form. And it can take the form that I am a Gnani also, it can take form. Okay. The subtle, ego is subtle. Ego is the Maya. It's very difficult to come out of these subtle aspects. Ego is like a chameleon. The chameleon, if it sits on a tree, it takes green color. If it sits on a stone, it takes the color of the stone. You will not be able to find out where the chameleon is. It can adapt to the environment. Ego is like that. It will adapt to the circumstances. You can't find out the ego, position of the ego. It's very difficult. Very difficult to find. That's where very subtle discrimination is required. Very subtle understanding of life is required. And it won't happen overnight. Repeated Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, and Seva, and Guru Sanidhya, the presence of the Guru. If he is really master and enlightened, then the Guru will not allow the ego of the Shishya to grow. He will try to point out in various ways and allow the Shishya to come out. Others is very easy. Reading a couple of Vedanta, current day books, and think that I'm already Brahman. Being Jivan Mukta and thinking that I'm Jivan Mukta is very, very different. Very subtle. Unless somebody is really seeking the path of truth, somebody is really after truth, we can get trapped at various circumstances of life. at various points in life, various paths in spiritual journey. So somebody came to a monk, said, please show me where the wealth is. The monk says, go 5 kilometers, you will find, dig a place, there will find a wealth. So he goes and digs there. He finds silver coins. He's so happy. Goes home and spends it. Then, after spending so many years, he'll come back again. Please show me more wealth. Then he says, gold. Like the gold, silver, and all those things are over. Many years have gone now. 40 years of life is gone. He has got gold, silver, diamond, everything is got. Finally he comes and says, still I want something. I am not able to find out what is there. There must be something where you are sitting. Below that there must be something. You are not showing me. I want to dig that place and find out. So monk says, there's nothing below this. Something is here. Dig inside. The truth is there. Source of eternal wealth is there. Bliss is there. Find out that. So this is our journey. At spiritual journey, we'll get stuck up at various places. Everything appears to be beautiful. Everything appears to be joyful. But question we have to ask, am I in search of truth? Or am I in search of complacency? Or am I in search of joy? Which is temporary. We have to proceed on the path. So about the Gnani who got disturbed, I am saying, in satsang, in joyful occasion, everybody is happy. Whether it's Gnani or Adnani. The real test comes when circumstances are difficult. Okay? They say test of the food is in proof of food is pudding. Pudding is eating. Rubber meets the road, we'll know the rubber is strong quality or not. So similarly, when we face circumstances of life, challenging circumstances, our jnana gets tested. Am I equanimous or not? Ultimately, the one who answers is not people outside. I have to answer. Is balance of my mind is there or not? Am I equanimous? Am I peaceful internally in the difficult circumstances of life? This is the test of jnana. This is called Agni Pariksha. Testing in the fire. Testing in the water won't work. Life has to be tested in fire. In that fire, we have to come out beautifully. This is the meaning of Agni Pariksha of Sita. Sita represents the mind. Ravana represents the ego. When Sita has to reunite with Rama, Agni Pariksha has to happen. Test has to happen. The test is what called Agni Pariksha in the metaphorically in the Ramayana. Adhyatmika meaning of Agni Pariksha is the trials of life you have to go through. Then you will understand that I have become Jivan Mukta. Nobody else will tell you. Nobody else will give you the certificate. Ultimately, Jivan Mukti or liberation is our journey, our inner journey. We will ask ourselves, am I searching for truth? Am I searching for complacency? Or am I searching for appreciation from others? What am I looking for? It's like spirituality is like walking on the razor's edge. When you say razor's edge, it's so sharp. It can fall anytime. It's not that it's difficult, it's so subtle. Difficulty is not about journey. It's subtleness of journey. Our mind is gross. It catch at certain different dimensions. That's what I would say. There's nobody who can give you a certificate you are Adnani. There's nobody who can give you a certificate that you are enlightened, Jivan Mukta. It comes from ripening of life. Maturity. Okay? For that maturity, seva is required, service is required. For that maturity, jnana is required. Shravana, manana, nidhyasa is required. This is a process. Enlightenment is not an end point. Enlightenment is a process by which you start becoming free. People start thinking that enlightenment is the end point. Enlightenment is the journey of life. Maturity. From lesser maturity to more maturity. More maturity. It's like a flowering it's like a flowering. You don't know when the flower has flowered. Enlightenment is not like a nuclear bomb. Blah. explode. It's a flowering of the being. So this is my view. And then we were speaking of the Westerners' view and Indian view. We have to be very, very thankful to the Bharat Mata. Every language in India, Sanskrit, they have a fundamental structure which helps us to understand the spiritual truths in a much simpler way compared to other languages. Language is a Maya. That's why Shiva says in Shiva Sutra, Matrika Shakti. The words have the power to bind us, and words have the power to liberate us. The power of the words to bind is called Matrika, mother. The power of the words to bind us in English is called Matrix. You have seen the Matrix movie? That's Maya. See, very interestingly, Matrika Shakti means mother. It's a divine mother, Maya Shakti. Matrika means matrix. All of them start with the same word. Matrika also starts with mantra. The same thing which binds us can be freed through mantra also. Mantra Shakti. Words can bind us and words can free us. Matrika and mantra. And Matrika, because she is mother, because as a mother, she takes care of the child and puts a Maya for the child. So that whatever you have desire, fulfill it. As a divine, that's called Maya Shakti or Avidya Maya. The same mother frees the child with Mantra Shakti. It's called Vidya Maya. Both Mantra Shakti and Matrika Shakti are Maya only. It's all Operation Maya. So that is the divine mother. English language, example I give. Somebody comes and says, I am very happy. Somebody comes and says, I am very unhappy. See, I am represents the self, Atma. If I am happy or I am unhappy, you are condemned. It's very difficult to get out the feeling that I am unhappy. This is a language issue. Language is our program. In Indian language, we don't say I am happy or I am happy. We will never say that. I am means Atma. Nanu santoshavagi iddene. Nanage santosha ide. So both indicate I have happiness, but I am free from happiness. This is any language you take, any Indian language you take. I have happiness. I have unhappiness. That's why you are separate from happiness and unhappiness. What is that I? Only word where very clearly we declare happiness is Nanu Ananda Swarupa. Ananda Swarupa is my nature. Nanu Ananda Swarupa. So you see, the difference you understand. Nanu Ananda Swarupa is my nature is happiness. Okay? I mean, English translation is again false. I am Ananda Swarupa. I am. In English, you have to translate Nanu, I am of the nature of Ananda. That means Ananda you are separate from yourself. Happiness and unhappiness you have made your nature. Ananda you are separate from yourself. See, this is the paradox. This is the paradox. This is the language. This is language bondage. So today we have with us Sri Keshav Prasad, who has written huge amount of book, volumes and volumes of book on Soundarya Lahari, composed by Sri Shankaracharya, glorifying the beauty of the Divine Mother, Soundarya Lahari. Soundarya means beauty, Lahari means waves of beauty. Soundarya Lahari is also Ananda Lahari, waves of bliss. Soundarya Lahari is also Jnana Lahari, waves of wisdom. Now we have a question. Sri Shankaracharya is known as a giant in Jnana. He is the Mount Everest in Jnana. What people don't know, he is Mount Everest in Bhakti also. Jnana and Bhakti are not separate. What is Jnana? Because Bhakti. What is Bhakti becomes Jnana? These people don't know. People think Bhakti Marga is important, or people think Jnana Marga is important. A Jnana without Bhakti is dry. A Bhakti without Jnana is blind. Jnana and Bhakti have to come together. That's the peak of human life. Jnana and bhakti together is called mukti. That's what Sri Shankara showed. He wrote treatise after treatise on Vedanta Jnana. He has written so many beautiful hymns praising Divine Mother Bhakti. Bhakti and Jnana is together mukti. Bhakti is purification of heart, Jnana is a purification of intellect. Pure heart, pure intellect together is called mukti. So I would like to ask Sri Shankar Keshav Prasad, how did you get the intuition of this? What is the background of this whole work which you have done? And tell briefly about your background also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, thank you for this opportunity. It came as a surprise. So let me be intuitive and let your blessings and mother's blessings and guru's blessings flow through me. Let me pray for that. By profession, till 2018, I was an IT person. So my last job was in Singapore. I served as a vice president in Citibank in Singapore. However, that was Laukika, board. Before that, I have worked in Singapore, UK, US, but I always found my home to be India, specifically Bangalore. I was born in Baswangudi, DVG Road, Bangalore, which ultimately has given me the amrita of its position. Being being born in Baswangudi and in DVG Road, I think is a blessing in itself.
In fact, we Ramakrishna Mission Center.
Gandhi Bazaar, Vidyarthi Bhavan, all that Sati stores. So it's a beautiful, it's heritage.
It's a spiritual and cultural hub of Bangalore.
Absolutely.
I would say spiritual hub, spiritual center.
Yes.
Because Ramakrishna Mission is there, where Divine Mother Sharda Mata came. Okay. So it's, I would call it spiritual heart of Bangalore.
Yes, absolutely. So why I bring that point is it has a deep connection with Soundarya Lahari. My mother used to take classes of Soundarya Lahari, and she used to go to Soundarya Lahari classes when I was 3 years old. I don't remember chanting. I remember listening to Soundarya Lahari. I had no idea what it was. No grasp of Samskrita, nothing. I did a little bit of Sanskrit training when I was in kindergarten and a little above that. I used to go to Prabhat Shishvihara and the Samskrita Pathshala in front of it. That was just because my father asked me to do. I think more than that. But Soundarya Lahari as a hymn remained inside me. But this statement is false, I'll tell you that. Because very late in my life, when I was in my late 20s and 30s, I realized that I was being prepared from previous janmas for this role. But that realization, that jnana, is very intuitive and it's very difficult to even accept that knowledge. Today, I am of the opinion that nothing is a coincidence and I was being prepared for this role. Otherwise, this work is impossible. So, when I was 3 years old, my mother learned Soundarya Lahari, but one particular phrase in Soundarya Lahari, the 9th shloka, remained in my heart as japa japa. The 9th shloka starts with the word Mahi Mooladhare. Mahi Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham Stitam Swadishthane Pradi Marutam Akashamupari Manopi Bhrumadhye Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham Sahasrare Padme Saharahase Patya Viharase. So, that Mahi Mooladhare as a phrase, I kept on repeating in my mind without knowing as a kid, and that remained in me as japa japa. Now I can say it's japa japa, but at that moment as a kid, I had no idea. But the point here is, why Mahi Mooladhare? I came to know 25 years later. As Prabhuji said, I have undergone difficulties in my life, or I can say that at every point in life, our difficulties seem very difficult for us. If you look back later, I say, my God, it was kids' play. What was it?
I would give an analogy.
Yes.
Divine Mother has a kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll increase the heat, increase the fire to cook properly. All of us are cooked in the fire of heat of life in the Divine Mother's laboratory kitchen.
But then it was a Bunsen burner. It was not a major big burner, right? So I was being cooked with a small, this one, but my capacity was so much. But I thought life was giving me so much of difficulties at that time. However, the timing was, this was I think 2002, 2003 time. I was in San Jose, Milpitas in California. And again, Soundarya Lahari came to me. Also because it was a spiritual vacuum of sorts when I was in US. I needed something. So Soundarya Lahari came to my life and I started chanting. And more importantly, why am I talking about this is that was the time I think I spent 3 to 6 months there. I went through a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. And till today, Lalita, Tripura Sundari and Shiva are my gurus. I've asked many times, Devi, in my life, show me a guru, either living, non-living, in Karana Sharira. Devi has always said, I'm your guru. Just progress. I'm there for you. But it takes a lot of audacity to even make such statements. But that's the truth. In all humility, that's the truth. So, before the Mahimoladhare actually took place, I got to know that I was being prepared for this whole Kundalini awakening through my life. Because it is not a one-day job. Because all the nadis have to get prepared, the entire body, all the koshas have to get prepared. But this knowledge came to me later, but it was the Kriya first. But the knowledge was in the subconsciousness that took over. Shiva Shakti took over, and I had a very beautiful, spontaneous Kundalini awakening with no problems because Devi and Shiva took me in their arms. Like they cradled me so beautifully. And also because possibly I got to know that this has happened previously in my other janmas, and I'm continuing that. This is the truth. Now, just before Kundalini came, this is the memory that I'm speaking from my smriti. Just before the Kundalini came in, I got this experience of being Shiva. And this was a beautiful intuition that I saw Shakti as my wife, as my daughter, and as my mother at the same time, without a single conflict. It was a beautiful experience that I was Shiva and Shakti was my daughter, my mother, and my wife simultaneously at the same time. This was a revelation and it was bliss. This next moment, I was down in Mooladhara and I was Shakti and I saw Shiva up there in Sahasrara and I yearned like Radha to join. Like a Gopika Stri, Radha. I wanted to join Shiva and I said, now here I am, I want to come and join you. So this bhava to me, they were very happy with my bhava and the Kundalini awakening happened. And fortunately, I had then there were only Yahoo groups, no Google chat, no international calls, everything was expensive. This was 2003. So I was fortunate to join a Yahoo group called as Kundalini Awakening Systems. I think the headquarters was in Boulder, Colorado. There's a person called Chris Mitchell, one of the, I think today he's one of the, very, very advanced tantric yogi. So he and his group cradled me and took me into their they cradled me basically and they supported me. So my Kundalini awakening and these things happened very, very easily. Just 15 years later. So after this process for 15 years, I was being prepared. I went through life's problems because Tapta Kanchana, that means gold becomes gold when it is put in fire. All the impurities have to go. And one phrase in Kannada remains in my mind. There is a Mahanubhava called as Devudu Narasimha Shastri.
Heard of him.
He has written a beautiful book called Mahabrahmana. Then he has written Mahakshatriya and Mahadarshana. Mahadarshana is Yajnavalkyara Kathe. Mahabrahmana is Kaushika becoming Vishwamitra and bringing Brahma Gayatri into the 7 lokas, and Mahakshatriya is about Nahusha. So in Mahabrahmana, in introduction, in the first or second page, Devudu says, Kannada ಒಂದು word ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಣೆ ಹಿಡಿಯೋದು ವಜ್ರವನ್ನೇ ಹೊರತು ಗಾಜನ್ನಲ್ಲ.
Polishing you can do for diamond.
Only for diamond.
Not for glass.
Not for glass.
Glass you can do cutting.
Yes.
Not polishing.
Not polishing. So, you have to be a diamond inherently to basically withstand all the hardship of friction and polishing, because millions and millions of friction actually the diamond has to go through, but a glass cannot tolerate it.
So here the friction means challenges of life,
Challenges of
sufferings.
Yes.
In job, in family, in circumstances, in birth. That is actually, I would call mother's kitchen. There's a heat is there. And she knows exactly how much heat to apply to get prepare which dish.
Absolutely.
This is called polishing.
Totally.
Yeah. and not every dish can be cooked. Some dish she'll keep it for next kitchen, next
Janma.
Next Janma.
Exactly. So that's mother's perspective. But my perspective, I have to ask myself, am I a diamond or am I a glass? So that arivu, that awareness is very important, only because I can withstand the friction and the heat of the life.
So this is actually in our Purana. Sita unites with Rama. She was with Ravana. Ravana is the ego. Ravana is the Rajoguna. I'm speaking of Adhyatma Ramayana, not Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika, Ravana kidnapped Sita. War happened in Sri Lanka, all those things. At Adhyatmika level, Sita represents the mind. The mind, in contact with the ego, becomes disturbed. So then when Sita wants to unite with Rama, and Sita and Rama has to become one, mind uniting with Atma, it's called Jivatma Paramatma Ekatvam. Before that, mind goes through a Agni Pariksha. Burning in fire. In Purana, in Ramayana, it said Sita wants to fire. In reality, in Adhyatma Ramayana, a Jivatma has to go through various circumstances of life. They're burning. Okay, that burns or whatever is negative is there, and pure thing emerges. This is what he meant by what you call the polishing. Polishing.
Yes.
So what happens there? Sita Mata went through fire, Agni Pariksha. That means our mind has to go through Agni Pariksha. Challenges of life, whether birth, circumstances, marriage, job, these are all Agni Pariksha for us. Those who qualify in Agni Pariksha, they're eligible for union with Atma, Jivatma, Paramatma, Ekatvam, Advaita.
But this realization doesn't come when you are going through the problem.
Yeah. When
realization comes later, always.
Yeah, always it later.
Always later.
In the frying pan, you can't understand what's going on.
That's the design of life.
Actually, that's how it is, sir.
Yes.
Because the moment if you become aware of that, then you will not be able to face the heat.
Yes. Because when you have to face it, you have to face it.
So that's why I tell all the people all the time, there's always grace in your life. No, I'm going through difficult circumstances in life. That's also grace. No, how is grace? I'm putting in frying pan. That's the grace. You will come to know of the grace only after some time. The grace is always known after, not during. The grace we can appreciate only after. Like that medicine, we can appreciate after effects of medicine. When taking the medicine, it is bitter. You take a medicine, especially Ayurvedic medicine, it's very bitter. But healing happens after that. Similarly, grace is like a medicine. the boiling, the heat in life appears to be, oh my God, why I'm going through? Why, oh God, why are you taking care like this for me? Without understanding, that is a grace which is there, that is required for you exactly at that point of time. And you cannot escape it, you cannot run away from it, and it is required. The right heat and temperature is required in life to cook the soul, to make it eligible for Jivatma Paramatma Ekatvam.
Absolutely. And in this whole process, I was traveling the world.
Sorry, I'm interrupting your flow.
No, please. give me a little
I'm
time.
running commentary of what you are
doing. It will give me time to recapitulate and then move forward.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So, meanwhile, to cut the story short, I was being prepared, and then I think in 2007, I was, again, everything is intuition. Devi started telling me, start listening to Soundarya Lahari, start working on it, take it more seriously. I started listening to Upanyasas of Soundarya Lahari, which is not available easily. So there was one person, he's a scholarly person of Vedanta Bharat. His name is Ganesha Bhatta Hobali. So he has given Kannada discourses on Soundarya Lahari in Gokula Institute. So I got those digital copies. I started listening and making notes. That's how my Soundarya Lahari work started. And I was more comfortable in Kannada because that's my mother tongue, so much easier. As Prabhuji said, writing in Indian language and your mother tongue is so much better to express than writing in English.
This is my experience also, Keshav Prasad.
Yes, sir.
I give, for every talk of mine, I'll give English and Kannada. And the moment I speak in Kannada, the flow will be very different.
Yes.
Okay, the Kannada and unfortunately, I can't speak fluently in Sanskrit, but the Kannada words, they come such a way, it's like a flow, poetry.
Absolutely.
That cannot happen in English because the English is not a spiritual language.
Correct.
Indian languages are spiritual. Sanskrit is spiritual.
And we think in Kannada also, and we have to translate.
No, not because of mother tongue. It's not about mother tongue. This Indian language is much closer to spirituality compared to other languages.
Agree. Absolutely. So I started in 2012. I started, expanding Soundarya Lahari, and I had, believe me, no knowledge of Soundarya Lahari, no knowledge of. In high school, I had two great teachers, Ramachandra Sharma Tyagali and Ananta Sharma Bhuvanagiri, very learned scholars as my Sanskrit teachers. That was the only background I had in Sanskrit. However, I asked Devi to give the requisite knowledge, and she slowly started transforming. The most important aspect for me is it was divine intuition, and today I can very clearly say that I have taken dictation from Adi Shankara and Devi and other rishis so that I can write the book. When I say I can write the book, I have only taken dictation from them. I am not the Kartru. It is Apaurushaya. It is Adi Shankara. Whatever Adi Shankara did not say when he wrote Soundarya Lahari, what we call a subtext, has come out in this book. That is number one. I don't have the audacity to say that it's my work. It is totally Apaurushaya. It is totally done. Now, the point is this. When God speaks, when Adi Shankara speaks, and when the divine intuition comes, are we prepared to listen to that? Is my FM radio tuned to that? It's a very important conversation, right? Internally, because our mind is tuned only to listen to our thoughts. Our mind is not ready, or it's not tuned, or we have not tuned from birth to listen to divine thoughts, which means we cannot separate the divine inception from our noise very easily.
Our antenna is tuned to the world.
Yes.
Okay. The antenna direction is not to the divine. Our antenna is very focused on Hava, means existence. Okay. When we tune our antenna to the divine, then Bhava comes. Bhava to Bhava, the antenna direction is to change. Antenna is nothing but our nervous system. Our nervous system, head, and our spinal cord is the antenna, biological antenna. So the biological antenna is normally tuned to the world. Okay, whereas in rare cases, it gets really tuned to the God. Even when you speak of God, most of the people say I'm devotee and all. Still, they are looking for something in the world, not really about God. When it really turns to God, the intuition opens up.
Absolutely. Now, the point is this. We as human beings are serial processing people.
Yes.
So, which means our mind is a small window where one thought comes at one time. And when I say one thought, it's one sentence, nothing more than that. So, we are like those serial printers, dot matrix printers,
Correct.
or a typewriter. One letter, one word at a time. Whereas the super consciousness, as we call it, the intuition, divine intuition, is totally a parallel process.
Correct.
Everything comes at the same time, and I have to download it. And Devi has to give the faculty for me and raise my brain capacity to take that and to make it serial processing. That conversion or that thought process or that anatomy inside had to change, and it took a lot of time for them to change, and a lot of guardian angels, a lot of rishis, a lot of my pitrus who have helped me to kind of get to that position. I say this with all humility because it's important to share my journey, to say today I'm able to write this. And the last book that I'm talking about, Prabhuji, this book called Soundarya Laharya Rahasya Mattu Adhyatma Siddhi, I wrote it in 8 months, 500 pages. So I gave one copy to Meenakshi Raviji for the introduction. I gave this book. When I gave it to her, it was like, I think 300 or 400 pages, and 100 pages I could write in 1 month. So how do I intuit? Only when I totally submit and surrender myself. And that surrender, and I think Prabhuji was saying this very, very beautifully. False surrender is also Maya.
False surrender is also Maya. It's another frying. It can go to another frying pan.
So, but as humans, we cannot differentiate between a true surrender and false surrender.
Definitely can't.
Okay, impossible.
Impossible.
So, discernment of whether I am in true surrender or false surrender lies, that responsibility is within me.
Yes.
No, nobody else.
Yes.
So, unless I surrender, I mean, truly,
yes,
and say that Yanagu ane Ranga, Ninagu ane, Yenagu, Ninagu, Ibbarigu, Nina Bhaktarane. So, I have to put the onus on Devi and say, I'm your vehicle, you take care of me, it is your responsibility to make me right. And you have to give me everything. You have to give me the ink, you have to give me the energy, you have to give me the mind, you have to give me every single energy to make me a vehicle. Because you have chosen me, it's your responsibility. It's not like I'm nobody, I'm somebody. I was living my life happily. I was Agnani, I was very happy being an Agnani. I did not choose this, I did not want it.
Yeah.
But when you choose me, you make sure that this Janma is useful.
Useful.
Otherwise, what's the point? Why are you wasting your time and my time?
I know.
Right? It's totally divine. I'm with total divine humor with her.
Yeah.
So I take her, like, I chat with her, I talk to her, and then. So I'm like this. When Vyasa chose Ganapati.
Yeah.
Right? And Ganapati said, I have to understand, then I will write.
Yeah.
Same with me. I take dictation, but I have to understand. Believe me, I did not know. Because I was in Singapore, living a normal human life. Singapore and Dubai, they're all hedonistic places in some way.
What is hedonistic means?
I mean, 100% laukika.
Laukika.
Total
materialistic.
100% materialistic. You cannot, that spirituality. So, and it's a toy story.
Yeah.
Everything it's a puppet show.
Yeah.
And nobody there, you only care about your job, you come back.
Yeah.
There's no growth.
Right.
There's no spirituality. So I was in Singapore for 8 years, living my life, and then suddenly Devi chooses and says, you have to come and do this work.
Yeah.
So that transition coming to India was very painful, not easy, and choosing a totally a different life. Today I can feel what Ramakrishna would have gone through, Gadadhara had gone through to come into what he came into, right? So now, coming back, Ganapati wrote Mahabharata. Similarly, I took down Devi's intuition into Soundarya Lahari. Why Soundarya Lahari? That's the next question. Among all the works of Advaita, to one level, Adi Shankara is I'll go a little technical if you don't mind. He's a Vivartavada Pratipadaka, which means that according to the Advaita philosophy, the whole universe is Vivarta. It's a reflection of the supreme consciousness, that is Shiva.
Vivarta means reflection without undergoing fundamental change.
Fundamental change.
Like milk becomes curd.
It's Parinami.
Parinama. Okay. Vivarta means a water became a wave. Nothing has happened to water.
Yes.
There's no fundamental change.
Substratum is the same.
Substratum is the same.
So Vedanta and Adi Shankara and Vedanta, all his works are Vivartavada. And the definition of Maya in Vivartavada itself is different. Whereas Soundarya Lahari is the only work of Adi Shankara which actually adheres to Parinami Vada. Parinami Vada is the entire Parabrahma Tattvam, thought that Ekoham Bahusyam, Nanu ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಅನ್ನುವರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತತ್ವವಾಗಿರುವವನು ನಾನು ಬಹು ಆಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. That thought or that spandana or that vibration became two, which is Shiva and Shakti as two tattvas. And Shiva, according to Kashmir Shaivism specifically, Shiva said, Shakti is my Swatantra Shakti. I will be Sakshi. That's my responsibility. And I will give everything to Shakti, and she is Swatantra Shakti, and that Spandana ultimately became Lalita Tripura Sundari, and she took the responsibility of becoming the whole universe. That becoming. So he is the being, she is the becoming, which is what Andrew ultimately talks about. So she is the becoming, and that becoming is our Vishwamata or Lalita Tripura Sundari, and becoming means Parinama. So when milk becomes curd, here this Parinama means that it is not Vivarta, it is not showing like curd. Milk becomes curd. Similarly, curd becomes butter. Butter becomes ghee. So these are all, it's called Parinama. So Lalita Tripura Sundari Shakti, as Ichha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, becomes the whole universe, the Brahmandam, as we call it, Brahmanda. And that Brahmanda is in the form of Shri Chakra. This is the axioms or theorems of Shakta and Shaiva Darshana. So, now Soundarya Lahari is based on this axiom. Now, there are two parts to this thought process. One is called as ontology. Another is called epistemology. Ontology, Srishtivada, that means Shiva thinks that he has to become many, and the word relativity or Dvaita at some level is born there as a seed, Aham and Idam. So then the whole world is manifested as Lalita Tripura Sundari and Brahmanda, and we are Jivatmas in that Brahmanda. So we are in the Shri Chakra itself. Now, understanding of Shri Chakra, how it is as the Brahmanda form, those are all complex topics. That is part of the Shakta Shaiva tradition, Darshana. Now, this entire concept of Srishti from Shiva Shakti, Parabrahma Tattva, Shiva Shakti, Lalita Tripura Sundari, Shiva being the Sakshi Bhava, and us becoming the Jivatmas, and how we are living today in the Maya of Jivatma and Paramatma being separate in Ajnana, and we are made up of the 36 Tattvas. And Brahmanda is also the same 36 Tattvas. This whole knowledge is part of Shri Vidya. Now, this is the ontology, that means how the whole universe got created, how we got created, and how we are living. But is that the full equation? No, it's only part of the equation. Now, I am Jivatma, what do I do? How do I lead my life? How do I go back to the source, which is Shiva Shakti? Should I go back to the source or should I live happily in Ajnana? It's a choice. So, but once I make the leap of faith and the choice, my job, the design of life is to move from Ajnana to Gnana. So that's what Shiva and Shakti.
I cannot make a choice.
I have to make a choice.
There's nobody who can make a choice. It is the Divine Mother who chooses. And why she chooses, we don't know.
We think we have free will. We think we have free will.
We don't have free will.
We don't have free will.
We don't have free will. It is the Divine Mother who chooses.
Larger perspective, there is no free will. Absolutely.
We appear to be choosing.
Yes.
We appear to be doing something. It's the Mother who.
Yes, totally.
We have no independent free will at all.
So in this process of me becoming one with God, the way I see it and the way Adi Shankar also see it, there are 3 points here. One is, I permanently become one with God, which means that I'm not being born. I'm in moksha. I don't take janmas at all. I go and join. After a lot of janmas, I go into Sayujya Mukti. That is one. The final state. Another one, which we somehow call it Sushupti at some level, is between births. I am in a limbo. So that is also one process, which I don't know what will happen. Another one is, what do I do in this life? Can I attain a moksha sthiti? One is permanent moksha, another is in this life, my moksha sthiti. Adi Shankara said, yes, many janmas later, anyway, really will take you there, it will happen. But don't worry about that. Worry about what is here today. Can you attain that Jivan Mukta Sthiti in this janma? What can you do about it? Is the topic of the conversation, which ultimately is called epistemology. That means my search for the truth, my search for the knowledge of divine oneness with me and Paramatma.
What is called epistemology, meaning of the
epistemology
in Sanskrit or English, Indian language?
Indian language equivalent illa. It's basically the search of, it's a philosophy language, it says the search of truth, search of knowledge.
Seeking truth.
Okay. For example, epistemology of Islam is different. Their search of God, the path is different. Epistemology of Christianity is different.
Okay.
Epistemology of Vishishtadvaita is different.
Yeah.
This is epistemology of Shaiva, Shakta traditions are different. Hage Advaita itself has an epistemology, which is neti. Yeah. That is one kind of epistemology. That I am not that. Who am I? Shivoham. So that is one epistemology. Ultimately, I go and reach a Jivan Mukta state. Now, what is the epistemology of Soundarya Lahari? That's where we have to go.
Iti. Divine Mother, you are the sun, you are the mountain, you are the river, you are the moon, you are everything, all that is there is you. It is called iti. Bhava. Shivoham is awareness, Bhavoham is Jagannatha. Bhava means existence. Everything in the existence is Jagannatha.
Correct.
So that is the epistemology of Shiva Sutra. Shaivism. So the world is unreal, Mithya as Nama Rupa. The world is Satya as Jagannatha. The world is Satya as Shakti.
Correct. Absolutely. That's the beauty about Shakti's Shakta Darshana does not reject anything.
Yes.
It accepts everything.
It accepts.
So it is integration. It is not letting go. But when you let go the effect into the cause.
Yeah.
So slowly you kind of do Laya Yoga. So Adi Shankara wrote Soundarya Lahari. Before that, in our tradition of seeking the truth epistemology, there are 2 parts. One is called as the Vedanta Marga and one Tantra Marga. Adi Shankara is a Vedanta Pratipadaka, and suddenly we feel that why did he write a Tantra doctrine called as Soundarya Lahari? It's always an eternal question that all of us have. Now, Adi Shankara did not answer this directly. But somehow, if we go and search the commentaries of Soundarya Lahari, Soundarya Lahari is possibly one of the most complex works ever written. The reason is this, that any work, Sanskrit work, its weightage, that means the Mahatva, is determined. So, do we have some time?
Yes. No. We have enough time.
Okay. Perfect.
Even if it will speak in the evening, we are there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Yes.
And many people will be there.
So, no, I like that because I'm in a flow.
We are not in time. We are out of time.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds of time.
So,
So Adi Shankar, the Sanskrit work is
the weightage of any Sanskrit work is determined by the number of commentaries it commands.
Yeah.
Adara Mahatva, adara Tuka.
It's like in the scientific research, peer review.
Peer review.
How many people refer to that?
Yes.
If something is useless, nobody refer. Something is very useful. Citations.
But that's a very poor. I mean, for us, Adi Shankara's work. I mean, let us look at our current Western calendar and say that Adi Shankara lived in 8th century. However, Kanchi doctrine actually says that he came much earlier, but that's not the debate. The debate is that...
No, that's the reason for that. What happened is that Adi Shankara is placed as 7th century AD by the Westerners who are influenced by the Christian theology.
Correct.
The flood happened in the world where God started creating the world in 7 days about 3,000 years before. So everything in the history, they have to fit into that sequence. That's why whatever sequence in India, whatever they have tell in India is completely distorted view based on the foreign historians who are completely biased by a different theology. So for example, Ramayana is more than 10,000 years or 25,000 years. We don't know. Okay, Mahabharata 5,023 years. Buddha came of so many thousand years. But everything we have to fit into a worldview which is very different from reality.
Absolutely.
And also if you see, this gets reflected in the map also. If you look at the map, global map, the biggest continent appears to be Africa. Okay? And India appears to be a tiny little. Okay? So Greenwich Mean Time appears to be somewhere in the Europe. Okay? So basically what happens, the worldview determines what you view. Worldview determines what you are communicating. So we have to come out of this whole Western concept of time. And Western concept of time is linear. Sanatana Dharma concept of time is circular.
Yes.
Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi. It will go in circles. So we are stuck to the Western concept, which is linear time. Time is not linear. What rises will fall back. Time comes up and goes back. Time is called Kali, and going back is called Mahakali. So we are stuck with a lot of things when we explain. We are stuck with Western concepts. We have to revive and understand our own original concepts.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. So why I made this point is that many people get stuck with the time of Adi Shankara but forget the teachings of Adi Shankara.
They are stuck with the time of Adi Shankara because they are referring to Western understanding.
Exactly. And because there is no other frame of reference.
No other frames. Also, Adi Shankara was much before Christ.
Absolutely. So now coming back to Adi Shankara's work of Soundarya Lahari, and there are 45 commentaries which in Sanskrit for Soundarya Lahari, out of which 33 manuscripts are available today. Okay. And out of that, now before that, what I want to say is Tantra, when we talk about either Shaiva, Shakta, we have to mix Shaiva and Shakta together. So, Shaiva, Shakta, Tantra, if we take together, because Shakta Tantra involves Shaiva Tantra automatically. So, we don't have to separate it. So, when we take Shakta Tantra, it is divided into Vama. So, Vama is left, Vama and Dakshina. Or Yada Mattu Bala. Right hand path and the left hand path. Why are we talking about this? This is a little important when we actually dissect Soundarya Lahari. We've got chakras here in front of me, so that is a beautiful inspiration to get to that. Now, when the moment we hear the word Tantra in the Indian ethos, we kind of take a step back. We say, oh, Tantra, magic, black magic. Tantra marta iddare. ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಜಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. That kind of thought is always, within our psyche.
Tantra is not black magic.
That's
Common people think like
But people think like that. The word tantra means, I'll give you an example. What is software called in Kannada? We call it Tantramsha. Tantragnana is technology. So the knowledge of Tantra is technology. So which means Tantra specifically relates to knowledge itself. And knowledge, framework, epistemology, process, specification. All of it put together is Tantra. So Tantra is not by itself. So it's like a product specification, process specification, framework, architecture in the modern language. All of it put together is Tantra. And that knowledge of that is Tantragnana. So now Soundarya gives us a Tantragnana, a framework.
Basically, Yantra, Mantra,
and
Tantra. Yantra is the object. Mantra is the way you worship. Tantra is the process. The process which connects the mantra and yantra, which leads to realization, is called Tantra.
Absolutely.
So one means that. Tantra means that which protects, that which takes us. The spiritual process is called Tantra. It has nothing to do with black magic.
It has. But the moment we move to Vamachara, now there are two schools of thoughts, right? So both are equally accepted in India because India doesn't discriminate anything. So now when we talk about Soundarya Lahari or Shakta Tantra or Shaiva Tantra, the main epistemological path of searching the truth is basically about Jivan Mukta. Here, the design of Brahmanda and Pindanda are the same, is the first axiom.
Yat Brahmanda, Tad Pindanda. What is there in the universe is there in you.
Yes. Now, how do I believe that? Now, Tantra tells Brahmanda is made up of certain constituent elements. Pindanda is also made up of constituent elements. So, LHS equals RHS. So, what is that left-hand side? Brahmanda is made up of the 36 elements from Shiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, all the way to the Panchabhutas, the Prithvi Tattva, the grossest manifestation, which ultimately from Anandamaya Kosha to Karanamaya Kosha to Manomaya Kosha to Karanamaya or Vijnanamaya to Manomaya to Pranamaya to Annamaya Kosha. So that is, so is the Brahmanda also having, is it having that? Yes, it is having that. Pindanda also has it? Yes, Pindanda also has the same architecture. Now, the same 36 tattvas are there, same 36 tattvas are here. So how do I realize that? Yes, Devi will give the realization. But do we believe that and proceed? Yes, we should believe that and proceed. And then it's an hypothesis, but then the proof will come.
You cannot believe. The belief has to come from. She is the Maya. Yes. As Vidya Maya, she gives the belief. How can I believe something is there? The belief also comes from her.
Absolutely. So from a school of thought perspective, because we are all in Dvaita. So how do I move to Advaita? She has to give that. Yeah. But then I have to accept it.
Yes.
So that acceptance is my belief finally.
The Dvaita to Advaita happens in 3 stages. Anupaya, Shaktopaya, Shambhopaya. Anava, Shakta, Shamba. Anava means separation, duality. Shakta means energy. Shambhava means awareness. Anava, Shakta, Shambhava. The 3 upayas are there. This is what Devi teaches. Anavapaya, when duality is there, the puja becomes very important. The rituals become important. And the service becomes important. When Shaktopaya happens, energy movement becomes important. And when Shambhavapaya becomes, awareness becomes important, surrender becomes happen there. Shambhavapaya is completely surrender, total surrender.
Total surrender. But to reaching that.
So this actually in modern way.
Hariom Guruji. ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಗುರುಜಿ, ಅಣುವೋಪಾಯ, ಶಾಕ್ತೋಪಾಯ.
So there are 3 types of life forms.
Okay.
Jiva, that means I am separate from God. It's called Dvaita Bhava. Anubhava, I'm small, God is infinite. It's called Anubhava. Anu means I'm small, God is infinite. Then Shakta Bhava means I'm related to God as energy, Shakti. Then Shiva Bhava, these 3, that's called Anuvapaya. Upaya means technique. From journey from one place to other. This is called Tantra. Tantra is from Jiva to Shiva. What is the journey? That's called Tantra. Anavapaya means I'm separate, I'm small, I'm tiny little being. Universe is so big. That's called Anavapaya. So that's where puja, rituals, temples, yantra, mantra, tantra become important. Anavapaya.
Okay.
Anavapaya is technique.
Is it like engineering, Guruji? I just want
it's perfectly highest spiritual engineering.
Got it.
Okay.
Guruji.
So then Shaktopaya means somebody moves from Anavapaya to Shaktopaya. Now he is connected to the Ishvara through Shakti, energy. He is not separate. So the Divine Mother starts taking the journey from Mooladhara to Swadhisthana to Manipura to Anahata to Vishuddha to Adna. This journey is called Navaratri. Journey happens from Mooladhara to Swadhisthana to Manipura to Anahata to Vishuddha to Adna to Sahasrara. The journey is called Navaratri. In Navaratri, culminates in Shivaratri. Shakti and Shiva becoming one.
What a background.
Okay. So the Shikta, the first step is Anavapaya. All living beings were separate. The devotion, the puja, rituals become important. For Shaktopaya, various energy movements become happen. Energy movements are two types. What we do consciously is called pranayama. What happens spontaneously is called kriya. So if Devi takes over, kriya happens. If you do, pranayama happens. Then comes then once that Shaktopaya, Shakti, purifies you. Jiva, Divine Mother cooks you, purifies you. Okay. Then she takes you to Shiva. Jiva becomes one with Shiva. That one becoming one with Shiva is called Shambhavopaya, where becomes more of jnana or awareness becomes important. And final stage of Shambhavopaya is total surrender.
Beautiful.
Okay. Anopaya, Shaktopaya, Shambhavopaya means technique. Okay. Anupaya is important for GVs who are separate. You think I'm Anu. Then Shaktopaya becomes important. I'm connected to Shiva in the form of Shakti. And Shambhavopaya is I am Shikta, Shivoham. So these are the three stages of spiritual journey of a Jiva. In modern way of saying, Anavapaya refers to Dvaita. Shaktopaya refers to Vishishtadvaita. And Shambhavopaya refers to Advaita.
Understood. Thank you, Guruji.
I'll take that cue and elaborate from Soundarya perspective. So, when we talk about the 36 tattvas, how are they? When I talk about 36 tattvas, we are talking from when we go from below to above. We got Pancha Bhutas, then we got Pancha Tanmatras, then we have Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Gnanendriya. Then we have Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara. There are multiple tattvas. Then we come to, as we purify and move forward, we finally end up in the Shiva and Shakti tattva. So the Brahmanda is made up of these 36 tattvas. We are made up of these 36 tattvas. Now, these 36 tattvas must be housed somewhere. Let us only take our Vedanta. So where are they housed? They are housed in the Pancha Koshas. But is that enough? No. They are also housed in another architecture called as our chakras. So our chakras are nothing but housings or casings. In a very gross way to put it, because chakras are divine beings of Shiva and Shakti themselves. That is what is explained in Soundarya. So these 36 tattvas actually reside in our chakras and also housed in the Panchakoshas. So some people, when they explain part of the truth, they talk about the Panchakoshas architecture only. Some people talk about the 36 tattvas architecture only. Some teachers talk about the Shat Chakra architecture only. But when we talk about Shri Vidya, we talk about all of them put together in an integrated way. The integration is not easy. Now, why am I saying this is, in this whole path of epistemology, that means finding the truth, I am moving from Anava to Shambhavopaya. So there are two paths, as I said. One is called as the right hand path, which is the Sattvika Marga, which ultimately is mostly Vedic centric. That means it is Vedanta centric, which is Advaita centric. Whereas the left hand path is slightly a little more antric in nature. I'll tell you why. Now, I'll give you the distinction. The first one, the right hand path, is called Samayachara. The left-hand path is called Kaulachara. Okay. So, Kaulachara, again, there is another distinction. One is called as the Saguna Puja, another is called as the Nirguna Puja. So, when I do Saguna Puja, which means I take the idol of the god, or I take a Shri Chakra, or I have a picture of God in my house, right? And then I worship. So that ultimately is the Stula Upasana, which is Anavopaya in some ways, ritual-centric process. So here I give more importance to rituals, I give more importance to religion, I give more importance to festivals. So, and it is a habit-centric process. We are generally caught in that. Many janmas we take to move from the Saguna to the Nirguna Upasana. So we all understand Saguna much easier. But what is Nirguna? When I say Nirguna Upasana, whom am I doing Upasana? The highest Nirguna is Shambhavapaya Shiva. Shivoham. So can I do that Upasana? Can I do that puja? Not easy. Jivan Muktas can. But I am somewhere caught in between. I am starting now. From Saguna to Nirguna I am going. Where do I start? How do I start? So there is a path from moving from Saguna to Nirguna. This is also part of Shri Vidya. Now, when we do the worship of Devi, for example, or Shiva Shakti put together or Shakti, let us not differentiate because it's an Advaita, both are the same. So there are multiple Swarupas of Devi. One is called as the Stula Swarupa. Okay. So Stula Swarupa, then Sukshma Swarupa, then Paraswarupa. 3 gradations of Devi Upasana as well as 3 Swarupas of Devi. When we talk about Devi, we are talking Lalita Tripura Sundari. Stula Sharira is what we know. We have the idol of Devi, we do puja. We have idol of Shri Chakra, we do puja. But there is a lot of fear and taboos also involved in that. Let's not go there. Now, in Sukshma Swarupa also, there are 3 grades. One is the 3 grades. One is called Sukshma, another is Sukshma Tara, another is, the final is Sukshma Tama. Sukshma is subtle, Sukshma Tara is subtler, Sukshma Tama is subtlest. Above that is the Pararupa, which is finally the Parabrahma Swarupa of Shiva and Shakti in the Turiya and Turiyatita form. I can't even say use the word form there. It's beyond all that. So, Saguna Swarupa, I move one level above, which is Sukshma Swarupa. That Sukshma Swarupa, the 3 grades, the first grade above Saguna is called as the Mantra Swarupa of Devi. That Mantra Swarupa is called as the Panchadashakshari Swarupa of Devi. Or Shri Vidya Swarupa. Or Shodashakshari or Panchadashakshari Swarupa, which is the Mantra Swarupa or the Akshara Swarupa or the Sharada Swarupa. The entire universe is made up of the mantra or aksharas or the matrukas, and the whole universe manifests in that. Which means the intention ultimately becomes the matruka and
one more question. She's the Upasaka.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. Matruka Shakti is all our R2 Ksha. All Matruka Shakti, R2 Shakti.
Yes.
Here, what you are mentioning, Anima Siddhi, Garima Siddhi, Ishvita Siddhi, Prakyamya Siddhi, all Siddhis. Anima, Garima, Ishvita, Prakyamya, all these.
I'm not come to that yet.
She has not come. He has not come to Siddhis.
No. I'm just understanding, sir. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay. We'll get there.
Vijaya, Vimala, Vandya, all this Moola Devatas, what you are telling.
Correct. We'll get there.
I'm just trying to understand because Guruji has clarified for us Anima Siddhi, this thing, Siddhis. He's never talked about Siddhi. He only directly take us to Shiva Shaktyo Yukta. That's a direct word. Shiva Shaktya Yukta. Your Soundarya first word. He takes us there. So this is how the Shri Vidya and you also mentioned Dakshinachara, Vamachara, Haku Kaulachara. ಈ 3 ಆಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಮೂಲ ತತ್ವ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಒಂದೇ, ಶಿವ ಶಕ್ತ್ಯಾಯುಕ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಗುರುಜಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಗುರುಜಿ, ನಾವು ಮೂಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಆರಾಧನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಆಟಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಗುರುಜಿ?
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಗುರುಜಿ?
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು
ಹಾ.
ಎರಡು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ ಹಂತವಾಗಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್.
ಹೌದು.
So direction is given. Anavapaya is given Puja as direction. Shaktopaya is given Srividya as a direction.
ಹೌದು.
Finally, a bindu which Shiva and Shakti becomes one.
ಬಿಂದು
is the
ತರ್ಪಣ ಸಂತುಷ್ಟ.
Sahasrara. Sahasrara.
ಹೌದು ಗುರುಜಿ, ಹೌದು ಗುರುಜಿ.
Okay. So now what happened in this process of going up by step, there will be many siddhis also. Because
ಹೌದು.
as you attain various lokas, you'll get siddhis.
ಹೌದು.
Okay, there are the stages. But finally, Shiva and Shakti become one. Sahasrara.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ಗುರುಜಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ.
Okay.
I'm coming there. Why am I saying this is because ultimately to understand Soundarya Lahari, this knowledge is important.
Just can you give me a pause?
Please.
One minute pause ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Just 2 minutes. Okay?
ಓಕೆ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Okay, we'll continue. Sorry for the break, the pause. Okay, please continue. Okay, we'll continue.
Yes.
Sorry for disruption.
I think Devi will guide us. So, why am I, point
you're speaking of various
Samayachara.
Samayachara or Homachara.
So, Devi presents to us in multiple swarupas.
Swarupas.
So for some people, it is mantra swarupa. She presents herself in mantra swarupa. And for some people, the next level, etc. So this is the architecture of Devi's Swarupa, multiple Swarupas.
She presents herself as a Mantra Swarupa.
Mantra Swarupa.
She presents herself as Bhava Swarupa.
Correct.
Okay. Bhava also, there is Devi Bhavas.
Finally, that's the Bhavani Bhavanagam.
Bhavani Bhavagamya.
Finally, yes. So the next subtler Swarupa is the Kamakala Swarupa of Devi.
Kamakala. Okay.
Kamakala. So where?
Sorry, it's
Early. Where the sadhaka, for example, because when she presents herself as mantra swarupa, there is one evolution of the soul. In possibly another janma, she will present herself as the Kamakala Swarupa, which is much more subtle.
Yeah.
In Kamakala Swarupa, Shiva and Shakti are two tattvas.
Yeah.
So here it is much more refined than mantra swarupa.
Yeah.
So Kamakala Swarupa. We speak about the Panchadashakshari and Shodashakshari, and the most important part here that I have realized in Kamakala is when Lalita Tripura Sundari has to create the universe, she has to get the Stritva.
Yeah.
She has to become feminine.
Mother.
For mother, she needs to have her Garbhadharana capacity.
Yes.
So where does that Garbhadharana capacity come? Otherwise, they are Shiva Shakti united as Parabrahma Tattva. Now she has to become Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha.
She has to actually be Hiranymayena Patrena. She has to have the Avarana Vikshepa Shakti. She has to be the Maya. She has to hold the whole universe inside her.
Her womb.
That womb or Savitru Bhava. Right? Prasava Bhava has to come. So for that bhava comes only when we worship her as that bhava and Shiva as the sacred masculine, the Kameshwara, and her as the sacred feminine, Kameshwari. That bhava is the Kamakala bhava. Right? Here the mantra swarupa is, we have transcended the mantra swarupa at a certain level and moved to that mode of worshipping Shiva and Shakti as Kameshwara, Kameshwari. And why the word Kama is basically the divine desire for procreation and creation of the whole universe, which is Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirodhana, Anugraha. For the cyclic nature of the Srishti, this Kama is very important, and the Kama has been celebrated in Shri Vidya as the divine love, attraction between Shiva and Shakti so that the universe gets created.
That's actually called Hiranyagarbha.
Correct.
Hiranyagarbha Samavartakagre Jatasya Bhutasya Jatasya Pratireka Asid. Hiranyagarbha is that divine mother's womb. That's called Kameshwari.
Correct. So that particular way of worshipping Shiva Shakti is the subtler version. And why I say that is, Soundarya Lahari, there is one shloka called the 32nd shloka, which says Shiva Shakti Kamaha Kshitirata. So it goes that way. That talks about Devi's mantra swarupa in Soundarya Lahari. There is 19 shloka in Soundarya Lahari that talks about Mukham Bindum Krutva. So that's the Kamakala Swarupa. So Adi Shankara is celebrating the Kamakala Swarupa, he is celebrating the Stula Swarupa, he is celebrating the mantra swarupa also. Above that, the subtlest swarupa is the Kundalini swarupa. Above the Kamakala. So Kundalini swarupa is the primordial energy both in the Brahmanda as well as the Pindanda. Now, according to my darshana and my understanding, I'll share something. When the whole universe got created, there was leftover energy. How much of energy was left out or left over when the Brahmanda was created? That energy is called Shesha, that is leftover energy. Leftover, how much was there? It was called infinite energy was left over. after Srishti got created. That infinite energy in Sanskrit is called Ananta Shesha. So, Ananta Shesha is basically representing the bed on which Vishnu sits. Because after Srishti gets created by Brahma, Sthiti is done by Vishnu himself, which is Sattva Swarupa. So he needs that infinite energy to do the palana of the entire universe. Right? So that infinite energy is Ananta Shesha, who ultimately becomes Lakshmana, Balarama, and Patanjali finally in our Kali Yuga. So
just wanted to give one more understanding of Ananta Shesha. Vishnu is called Ananta Shayana. Shesha in Sanskrit, it means remaining.
Yes.
What is remaining? So remaining is two dimensions of remaining. After creation, an infinite amount of energy remains. And in every creation, the karmic impressions remain. What's called? Sanchita karma of all living beings remain.
Yes.
There are two dimensions, energy and impressions. Impressions and energy together is called Shesha. In every creation, all living beings experience something. And their karma gets stored like a bank. The bank is Sheshanaga.
Okay.
And the coiling of the Sheshanaga, represents Shakti. The coiling represents the potential. Naga or poison represents the remaining impressions. Together is Sheshanaga. Impressions and energy is Sheshanaga. The snake which is coiled suddenly move. So that Shakti is the coil, and what is there in the hood of Naga is the impressions of the universe. Again, it will recreate. So together is called Sheshanaga, and this is called Ananta Shesha.
Sorry. So leftover infinite energy is Ananta Shesha. At a physical level, we call it dark matter, dark energy, right? In our current, science realm. However, at the universal level, Brahmanda level, the Parinamivada of Lalita Tripura Sundari, who is above the Shiva, who is above the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Trimurtis also Harihara Virincha Dibirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katam Akrita Punyaha Prabhavati. So Soundarya first shloka itself says Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara are subservient to Devi. So from that perspective, that whole Brahmanda, there is infinite energy, and that infinite energy is in the Ananta Shesha Rupa, which is used for various purposes in the Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara Karya and Tirodhana finally. Right?
Tirodhana means liberation.
Tirodhana, yeah. Concealment, liberation.
Yeah.
So then Anugraha.
So Tirodhana is concealment.
Concealment.
Yeah.
So
Anugraha is grace, liberation.
So Srishti Sthiti Laya for Pindanda, Srishti Sthiti Laya for Brahmanda. Anyway, so we'll have to differentiate that now. So now, for Brahmanda, if it is Ananta Shesha, then what about Pindanda? Is there leftover energy that gets stored as potential in us when the Srishti happens of the Pindanda Sharira? Yes. That is called as the Kundalini. So, she is the 3.5 coiled, like Ananta Shesha for Brahmanda, she is the 3.5 coiled serpent who is sleeping in Sushupti in our Mooladhara, coiling around the Swayambhulinga in our Mooladhara. So, that's the architecture, right? So, Adi Shankara brings this architecture into Soundarya Lahari, right? So, then he also, he doesn't say, he implies. Right? So there's a lot of subtext here. So he implies, and through multiple vyakhyanas. So he says, yes. Now, when we talk about the Antah Puja, we talked about Bahir Puja, Saguna Puja. When we talk about Antah Puja, what is the Nirguna Tattva that I need to do the puja to? So, am I made up of Nirguna Tattva myself? If so, what are the Nirguna Tattvas that I have inside me? So, I like Devi, like how Brahmanda, so is Pindanda. So, Brahmanda is made up of Mantra Sharira. Am I also made up of Mantra Sharira? If Brahmanda is made up of Kamakala Swarupa, am I made up of Kamakala Swarupa? If Brahmanda is made up of Kundalini Swarupa, am I made up of Kundalini Swarupa? The answer to all the three is yes. The answer to the lowest one, Saguna Swarupa, yes, I am made up of Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha put together. Right? So, which means I am the Saguna Rupa of, so the reflection of Brahmanda is Pindanda. Right? Now, am I made up of Paraswarupa? Yes. My Atma Swarupa is my Paraswarupa. So, which means that I also have Saguna Swarupa, I also have Nirguna Swarupa. And that Nirguna Swarupa, the starting point is Sukshma Swarupa, the Mantra Swarupa, the Kamakala Swarupa, and the Kundalini Swarupa, and finally my Atma Swarupa, which is the Paraswarupa. But if I have to do the puja internally, I have to do the pujas of these Swarupas inside me. Now, we hear in Bhagavad Gita the conversation of Adibhautika, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika. And finally, there is one more which is not talked about called Antaryajnatmaka. So we bring that into our conversation when we have to understand something. Why am I bringing that point is, we can understand our chakras from an Adibhautika perspective. When I say Adibhautika, it does not mean materialistic. The conversation starts with the prana body. So that also is the materialistic thought process to say that, oh, I'm made up of prana body, my chakras are, Muladhara chakra has got 4 petals, it's got, the earth element is ruling it. So that whole conversation is the Adibhautika conversation. When we transcend that, we move to the Adidaivika concept. We say that, yes, not only that, the Muladhara chakra has got a Devata inside it. What Devata are we talking about? Ganapati in Muladhara. We've got Anima, Garima, Ashtasiddhis in my Muladhara who are surrounding Ganapati. Then similarly, as we move above, the chakras have got the Adidaivika perspective. Now, do I relate to the Adibhautika perspective? Yes, we can, because most Westerners, when they give their representation of chakras, they only go to the Adibhautika, they will never understand the Adidaivika aspect.
Adibhautika means physical.
The physical thought process, which means it's made up of constituent elements. Constituent elements. The moment I say Adidaivika,
it's a consciousness aspect.
Consciousness aspect. The Devatas, Matrukas, for example. Matrukas. And also I'm talking about Yam, Ram, Lamsham and Devatas. I'm talking about Ganapati. I'm talking about Vishnu. I'm talking about Rudra Granthi, Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi. So the conversation moves from the physical conversation to the Daiva conversation.
The metaphysical.
Metaphysical. I mean, I think the metaphysical word also becomes the physical conversation. We have only the Indian ethos can actually move to the Adidaivika conversation. Above that is Adhyatmika. Some people actually interchange it. It does not matter. When I say Adhyatmika, we retain the Adibhautika, we retain the Adidaivika, and we move to the next refinement called as, for example, when we talk about Kameshwari, it is the Tattva level. It is not the Devata level. Devata level is already Adidaivika. When I talk about,
is it not Kameshwara and Kameshwari you're referring to Adidaiva?
Adidaiva also.
Not also, no, it's the Adidaiva.
It's the Adidaiva, but then I move them to the Tattva level.
Okay.
I say Shiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva.
Shakti Tattva. Okay.
So the conversation moves one level above.
Yeah. From Deva to Tattva.
Deva to Tattva. Tattva
so actually Jiva to Deva, Deva to Tattva.
Correct. Now, what do I do with all the three? So when I say Tattva, I also have embedded. So when I say 36 Tattvas, these 36 Tattvas already have the Daivatva element in them.
Yeah.
So I don't take away that. So I don't make that Adibhautika level.
Yeah, I understand.
So when I say Bhutattva, that Bhutattva already has the Hrimkara Bijakshara in it. There is Bodheshwari element in Bhutattva. So to that extent, I do the Tattva level.
Correct.
So it's a maturity model to some level. Yeah. Then finally, what do I do with these three elements is, I integrate it with my own Antaryajna. So from my Sagunas Aradhana, I move to the Antar Aradhana. So when I do Antar Aradhana, it is called Antaryaga. Or Antaryajna. So when I do Antaryajna, so Soundarya Lahari starts at the Antaryajna process. So this is where the starting point is. So what Antaryajna do I do? So this is where the Kaulachara and Samayachara kind of comes into picture. So in Kaulachara, the Antaryajna is done at the Muladhara and Swadhisthana only. Whereas in Samayachara, you raise the Kundalini all the way through the 6 chakras, take the Kundalini and take her to the Jivatma and the Kundalini. Both of them travel all the way to Sahasrara, meet Shiva, where the sadhaka goes to Samadhi and reach the Turiya. That is the Samayachara Marga. So which is very, very difficult, not easy. So very, very few people are actually in the Samayachara mode. So Kaulachara mode, this is the definition given by the commentators. One of the foremost commentator of Soundarya Lahari is Lakshmidhara. His Vyakhyana, he's a Srividya Upasaka. Lakshmidhara has written a commentary. He lived in 12th century. So he created a commentary called Lakshmidhara. So this is a Soundarya Lahari commentary. Very difficult to understand, not easy. Why have I written so much? Is I have followed Lakshmidhara's commentary and I have elucidated Soundarya Lahari using Lakshmidhara's Vyakhyana and also translated each Vyakhyana into Kannada.
Lakshmi is from Kashmir?
No, Lakshmidhara was basically from Karnataka.
Karnataka? Ah.
Yes. He's called Lola Lakshmidhara.
Lola Lakshmidhara.
Lola Lakshmidhara. It is said that he is from Karnataka.
In the commentaries in Kannada?
No, commentaries in Sanskrit. Sanskrit. So, yeah, there are I think there's only one book in Kannada by Sheshachala Sharma who is written in Sanskrit. In Kannada, I have done the work of converting that into Kannada. So I have to give the theoretical background, then I have to take the commentary of Lakshmidhara as a Shastra Pramana. So otherwise, whatever I say has to have validity. Right? So that's the way this whole commentary has come in. Why we talk about Samayachara? Samayachara is Veda Sammata. That means it is totally sattvic in nature. The 2 chakras below, which is the Kaulachara chakras, which is Muladhara and Swadhisthana. The Kulachara people are not bad at all. They find their refuge and they find their moksha. They are called as Kshana Muktas. So in their Muladhara and Swadhisthana, because there is Shiva Shakti there also, Swayambhulinga, they don't call Devi as Bala there. They call Supta Kundalini. So Samayachara
is Bala Tripura is nothing but Supta Kundalini?
Yes. Huh? Yes. So Samayachara people call her Bala.
Oh, Bala Tripura is nothing but Supta Kundalini.
Supta Kundalini. But we don't raise her there and we don't use her to become the moksha. So now this Kulachara people, there are multiple sects there.
Can you just pause for some time?
Sure.
We are thinking of Bala Tripura Sundari. Bala Tripura Sundari is nothing, is Supta Kundalini.
Yes.
The Kundalini energy in the infant form.
Yes.
Right?
Infant form as a small child.
Right.
As a small child. Now, since we are talking about Kundalini in our body has got 3 forms.
Yeah.
One is Supta Kundalini, which is called as Kumari Kundalini. She is in Muladhara.
As she is Kumari, same Kumari is in Kanyakumari, or is it different Kumari?
I don't know.
Okay.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly, but I think that's a separate conversation.
Okay.
We'll have
Kumari
Kundalini. So if you take Bharata as a Merudanda,
it's Muladhara. Kanyakumari is Muladhara.
So Lanka and this is Muladhara.
If Kanyakumari is the base of the
Yes.
Is Kanyakumari, I think it's Muladhara.
Yes, it is. I have done a lot of work on that. I'll speak separately of that. It's a separate conversation. The entire Saptarshis are mapped there. In all of them. So
I won't listen to us. I won't leave you today. You are actually booked for today.
I would say Dhanyosmi. So Kumari Kundalini is in our Mooladhara. She's Supta.
She is not with Kanyakumari.
You can say that. Why I say Kanya Kumari? At some level Kanya, but as we bring her to our Anahata, she's called Yoshita Kundalini or Taruni Kundalini.
Taruni Kundalini.
There she is yearning for meeting her husband.
Yeah.
Right? She is like Kanya.
Kanya.
That's why Kanya Kumari is this and this both at some level.
Yeah.
Moving from Kumari to Kanya.
But at the Mooladhara, she is Bala Tripura Sundari.
Bala Tripura Sundari.
Sorry.
But Bala Tripura Sundari for Samayachara people.
Yeah. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Our mother, we understood mother.
Sure. So, now I have to separate Soundarya from Soundarya context.
Yeah.
This is the conversation. So, then once she comes here to Sahasrara, she's called Pativrata Kundalini. Where she's waiting for the Pati to reach the Pati up there.
Yeah.
Then once she reaches, she is Pativrata Kundalini. So that's where Saharahasi Patya Viharase.
Is she Brahmacharini at that time?
No.
Brahmacharini in the Sri the Navaratri?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So that conversation slightly is in a.
So she wants to meet.
She wants to meet and go, and she meets Shiva. She's Pativrata Kundalini. There.
Can I ask a question if you don't mind?
Please.
If please don't mind. So from this Bale to Panchadashi to Shodashi. Is this the right analogy? Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So Ganesha and Bala, then Panchadashakshari, then Shodashakshari. Right. Because Shodashakshari is Chandrakala Swarupa Nitya Puja. Right. So the Shri Vidya has got generally 3 khandas. One is called as, now if we take any Shri Vidya work, for example, if we take Parashurama Kalpa Sutra as one of the Shri Vidya text. So there are 3 parts. One is called as the Gnana Khanda, where the entire knowledge of Shri Vidya is given. The second is called as the Diksha Khanda, where the Guru gives the Diksha for the Shishya. And the third one is called as the Sapariya Khanda, which is the Puja Khanda. So in Puja, we are looking at either Kaulachara Puja or Samayachara Puja. We are looking at either Saguna Puja or Nirguna Puja. Right? So multiple variations and add mixtures of all this depending on your Guru Parampara. The highest Parampara is the Adi Shankara's Parampara, which is basically the Gaudapada Parampara, which is Shuka, Vyasa. That Parampara is the Samayachara Parampara. How do we know this? Gaudapada is known for his most prominent work is our Gaudapada Karika. There is another Shri Vidya, our Gaudapada was a Samayachara Shri Vidya Upasaka. He wrote a set of 52 shlokas called as Subhagodaya Stuti. Subhagodaya Stuti is Gaudapada Acharya Kruta Grantha, and it's a Sri Vidya Grantha and specifically Samayachara Grantha. And it is said that Adi Shankara wrote Soundarya Lahari as a Tika Grantha for Subhagodaya Stuti.
Aditya wrote what?
So Soundarya Lahari as a Tika Grantha for Subhagodaya Stuti.
Subhagodaya Stuti. Oh, okay. So his Mandukya Karika, he wrote Mandukya Bhasha.
Yes.
Right? Yes, the Mandukya Karika. And Subhagodaya Stotra, he wrote Soundarya Lahari.
Yes, to draw inspiration from.
Yeah.
And then he wrote Soundarya.
Subhagodaya
Stuti.
How many slokas are there?
52.
52.
There, the time was such that the Kala was such that Samayachara was given a lot of prominence during the Gaudapada time. So he has kept Samayachara as the central Sri Vidya Tattva there. And he has done Khandana, that means he has not supported the Kaulachara, even if it is Kaulachara in the Antaryaga.
This I didn't understand.
Yes.
One is Subhagodaya is a Sri Vidya.
Sri Vidya Grantha, and it's a Samayachara Tatpara Grantha.
It's a Samayachara Tatpara. Sri Vidya is a name given by Shankara. It's there in ancient.
It's there ancient.
Samayachara. And Kaulachara, he did condemn, is it?
He condemned Kaulachara.
Why did he do that?
That's because the school of thought of Samayachara is a sattvic thing, and it is said that Samayachara is based on the Vedantic principles,
Right.
And it's a Raja Yoga Marga.
Raja Yoga Marga.
Raja Yoga Marga.
And Kaulachara is nothing but is more of a Rajasa and Tamasa.
Yes, that is because the two chakras are called Andhatamishra chakras.
Andhatamishra chakras.
Yes, the two lower chakras of Mooladhara and Swadhisthana. I won't say Swadhisthana because Adi Shankara and Soundarya has interchanged them. So, Bhutattva and Jalatattva, ಯಾವ ಚಕ್ರಗಳಿದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಅಂಧತಾಮಿಶ್ರ ಚಕ್ರ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ the one chakra is totally about the honnu and mannu.
Earth and
gold. Because that's where the attraction is.
Yeah.
You have to transcend that.
So, was Kaulachara focused on that those two chakras?
To a certain extent, not all of them. There are no, 1 second. There are admixtures. There are people who are Kaulas who basically wanted instant. It's like 2-minute. Right? So Samayachara was very difficult to all the way go there. We'll get to the finer details.
Okay.
A little possibly we'll have a separate conversation on how Samayachara is taken and how Kaulachara is taken. And in Kaulachara there's Nirguna and Saguna. Then there is Vamachara, Kapalikas, Aghoris. So there are different sects. Variations in Kaulachara. The Antaryaga of the Kaulachara is the most subtle of that.
Yeah.
So where they do their puja in their chakras. So they do Mooladhara Swadhisthana. They take as one entity, and that's one of the reasons why this Tara worship, Neela Saraswati worship, all those things come
in Kaulachara.
In Kaulachara, they go to Smashana, and there's a lot of those kinds of tantric rituals, right? So basically, they are the Shiva, and they are invoking Shakti in that particular
fashion.
Organs, genital organs, and then using the chakras to unite. Shiva Shakti. Now, our Shiva Shakti in the chakras, that's also another proof. When we go to Soundarya 36 shloka to the 41 shlokas, we get to know that the chakras are not only inhabited by the Devatas, they are inhabited by Shiva Shakti themselves.
Yeah,
Shiva Shakti themselves. So that proof is given in Adi Shankara Soundarya. So now, Gaudapada was a Samayachara Sadhaka. So that same parampara has come to all the level, even today to Sringeri. Sringeri and Kanchi are the Samayachara Marga, Tatpara, Sri Vidya Marga. However, Sri Vidya being such a secret doctrine, and it is Sannyasa Marga also. So Sannyasa Marga, and Sri Vidya is both Sannyasa and Grahastha. There is no difference there. So that marga has been kept very secret. And only certain dikshas are given. And that too, it is not the Hadi Vidya, it is the Kadi Vidya. So
what is Hadi Vidya and Kadi Vidya?
Yeah, Kadi means, I tell you, in the Panchadashakshari Mantra Swarupa, there are basically 12 schools of worship. It is said that there were 12 Sri Vidya Upasakas prominently. Manu, Chandra, Kubera, right? Then Surya, Shiva, then Durvasa, Lopamudra, Agastya. There are 12 of them. Prominent Sri Vidya Upasakas. Out of that, and including Manmatha, Kamaraja. So it is said that there are 2 Vidyas that are prevalent today out of all of them. Even Shiva was a Sri Vidya Upasaka. So Shiva has got his own Panchadashakshari mantra. Okay, so this is actually elucidated in Tripura Tapini Upanishad. So all this proof is given, the derivations of each is given, and the Vyakhyana of Tripura Tapini Upanishad. Okay. Tripura Tapini Upanishad, since we are mentioning that, it also equates Gayatri mantra with the Panchadashakshari mantra.
Gayatri mantra is Panchadashakshari.
And they say both are same. And that is not given in the Vak. Vak-wise, one is Tat, another is Ka.
Gayatri has 24 aksharams, Panchadashakshari 15 aksharams.
15 aksharams.
How they are equated?
Yes. So it has got 3 kutas. Ka-ye ilakrim, Hasa-kahalakrim, Sakalakrim. It is said that Ka-ye ilakrim itself is equal to 24 aksharas. So that proof is, and the Kamaraja Kuta, Hasa-kahalakrim is also equated to 24.
So Gayatri is nothing but Sri Vidya.
Sri Vidya. Yes.
Correct.
And Gayatri chanting 3 times is equivalent to chanting. I won't say chanting.
Yeah.
It is even bhavana.
Bhavana.
The bhavana level.
Bhavana level.
So at that level, it is equivalent to 3 times Panchadashakshari. Okay. So this is the mantra swarupa perspective of Devi. Right? People who get the mantra diksha move into this mode. People who get the kamakala diksha move into kamakala mode.
What is Kamakala Diksha?
Kamakala Diksha is basically after Mantra Diksha, they also give the Kamakala Diksha where Kama or for example Kama Raja is at some level it is Shodashakshari Vidya itself. Okay. I think it needs a separate conversation.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Sure.
Because it will take another half an hour for us to get to that. So Kamakala Swarupa includes the Mantra Swarupa.
Okay.
It's a subtler and it includes Shodashakshari and it also includes the Shri Chakra.
Okay.
So this is why Shri Chakra is, I will only quickly say that the Bindu in the Shri Chakra is Shiva Shakti.
Shiva Shakti.
And outside that is the inverted triangle which is called the Mula Trikona.
Mula Trikona.
That Mula Trikona is nothing but the Mahayoni of Devi, which is where her Garbha is, which is where we are.
Yeah.
Right? So it is red in color. So it's also called as the Hardakala. Hardakala. So Hara Ardakala. So that means half Shakti, half Shiva. There, Hara Ardakala.
There are 2 triangles. One is downward and one is upward.
One is upward.
Upward is Shiva and downward is Shakti.
No, we don't say that. The upward is made up of 3 apexes.
Yeah.
The first apex is called Parabrahma Tattva itself. Okay. It is basically the and aha. Right? It's the Bindu. Bindu becomes Visarga. So Visarga is Shiva and Shakti. Okay.
Yeah.
So all the 3 put together is this triangle. So that is Mukham Bindum Krutva. Mukham.
Yes.
This one. And Kucha Yugam, that is 2 stanas of Devi, is basically the Visarga. And aha. That Visarga is Shiva and Shakti.
Right.
Though all the 3 ultimately is the Shweta Bindu, the Rakta Bindu and Mishra Bindu.
Mishra Bindu.
Put together. Allinda, the next version is the Hardakala.
Hardakala. What is
That is Hardakala is Hara Ardakala. That is where the Shiva and Shakti as Kameshwari have to procreate.
That's the red color.
No, the red color is Rakta Bindu. And Shweta Bindu and Rakta Bindu. After that, only, for example, a human being when we procreate, there is semen and then there is blood. Then there is ovum and also there is yoni. Without the yoni, where will the procreation happen? Right? So yoni has to be there. That yoni is the Hardakala. Right? Then Shweta Bindu, Rakta Bindu, Mishra Bindu, Hardakala.
Yeah.
All of it put together is Kamakala. Kama is Shiva, Kala is Shakti at some level. So Kala also has multiple connotations to it. So it's and then in that triangle, you got Ka E Lakrim, Hasaka Lakrim, Saka Lakrim is in that inverted triangle.
Okay.
So it is given. And that is the Mula Trikona. And that Mula Trikona also has Mahavajreshwari, Mahakameshwari and Bhagamani. And in the center is the 16th Kala, Lalita Tripura Soundari, which is Shiva Shakti. So Soundarya Lahari integrates the 19th shloka of Kamakala and the Shri Chakras, Bindu and Trikona also put together and also integrates the Panchadashakshari and Shodashakshari in the Kamakala as an integration framework. So in Shri Vidya, it's a very complex way of integrating everything and moving to Stula to Sukshmatara, slowly moving up the ladder. Now, today, when we talk about the 7th shloka of Soundarya Lahari, Kwanat Kanchi Dama Karikalaba Kumbhastananata, the Devi has got Kanchi Damas. That means her Nadu is so Krisha that she's wearing a dabu.
Yeah.
And then there are jingles. So that area is called Kanchi Dama.
Oh. That is actually her ornament.
And that Nadu part.
That is her midsection. Nabi.
That Nabi section all the way down is her reproductive part. That is Kanchi Kameshwari. Kanchi.
Yeah.
And in the North India, it's also called as Kamakya. So Kamakya and Kanchi both are same.
Yeah.
That is her reproductive ability. That's why it is Kama. Kama is the ability to procreate and create the whole universe, and it is. So in Kama, we don't reject anything.
Yeah.
We celebrate Kama.
Yeah.
We celebrate divine love.
Yes.
That's where the bhavana comes.
Yes.
The Shringara Rasa between Shiva and Shakti is so important that we cannot reject. That's a part of Shri Vidya. So that is where Shiva and Shakti come together in that Shringara, and in alone they sport with each other. So that's Soundarya Sahapatya.
So Bindu is Brahmarandra or Sahasrara?
In Sahasrara, Brahmarandra.
Sahasrara Brahmarandra.
Brahma. It's called Baindavasthana.
Sahasrara is 12 inches above.
Yeah,
Bindu is, Brahmarandra is here.
Yes, yes. So there is no physical
Location.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, basically it is from here to Unmani. Unmani. Right. So the Srishti starts from Unmani all the way back
Down.
again to Mulata. Right. So
Yeah.
now this whole concept is, if it is Omkara, it is Vedanta. If it is Omkara and Hrimkara, it is Shri.
Yeah.
So then we take Omkara and Hrimkara and we break it down to Navanadas.
Navanadas.
Right? And then finally, on the Akara, Ukara, Makara or Hakara, Rakara, Ikara is the same. Then the rest Navanadas are the same. So Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. So my Mandukya comes into integration there. And finally Turiya, Tita. And Lalita Sahasranama, we say Sarvavastha Vivarjita.
Sarvavastha Vivarjita.
Right? So which is Turiya, Tita. So everything integrates so beautifully into a single framework, which is Sri Vidya framework. Now, another important point is that Samayachara depends on 5 major books called as Shubha Agama Panchaka. Shubhagama Panchaka. So the Shubhagama Panchaka has got 5 basic samhitas. Shuka Samhita, Vasishta Samhita, Sanat Kumara Samhita, Sanandana Samhita, and another one. So 5 samhitas, and these samhitas are all Vedokta samhitas. So Soundarya Lahari or
Samhita are a part of Vedas?
Yes.
Are you speaking of part of Vedas?
Part of Vedas. Part of Vedas.
Okay, these are a part of Vedas. They are not Agamas.
No, they are not.
They are not Agamas.
But they also have Agama.
They are also Agama, but we are referring to Samhita in the Veda.
In the Vedas, right? So these 5 granthas, Samayachara depend on these 5 granthas. That is the reason it is said that Samayachara is a Vedokta Marga. And ultimately what Mandukya is saying and what we are doing in Sri Vidya and Samayachara are ultimately the same. The goal is Advaita.
Yeah.
And Advaita is done in, the goal is Jivan Mukta Sthiti.
Yeah.
So the epistemological path here in Soundarya Lahari, in Sri Vidya, is Raja Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, you can say Pranayama, or basically Devi's Marga, because if she is doing it, it is her Marga. If my process is there, it's my Hatha Yoga.
If I do, it's Hatha Yoga.
Hatha Yoga.
If she does it, Sahaja Yoga.
Sahaja Yoga.
Actually, if she holds the hand and takes her, it's called Sahaja Yoga.
Sahaja Yoga.
If you do it, it's Hatha Yoga.
Now, who are the adhikaris of this, for example, right?
Yeah.
If a person in the previous Janma Vasanas is a Gnana Yogi, then does he have to go through all the 6 chakras? If he is a Hatha Yogi, or if he is a Bhakta, or if he is a Raja Yoga. The Raja Yoga is the most difficult one. He has to go through all the troubles. He has to go through the bandhas, he has to go through, and the first 2 shlokas of Subhagodaya Stuti, the second and third, start with the word Manomargam Jitva. So the moment he says Manomargam Jitva in Subhagodaya Stuti, it is Raja Yoga. Sri Vidya.
So Sri Vidya is Raja Yoga same, or they are different? Because Raja Yoga has certain breathing practices, bandhas. Sri Vidya is Mantra Rupi Raja Yoga, or Sri Vidya is Raja Yoga?
Raja Yoga is a necessary condition to Sri Vidya.
Raja is precondition.
It's part of it. Part of it. Now Raja Yoga we have to divide, right? You got a lot of, and Raja Yoga also has Kundalini Yoga.
Correct.
Right? So and it is basically the Mano Nigraha. It's the most important one. But before that, Yava, Niyama, Pratyahara, all those things automatically come into the picture. And at some level, Sri Vidya is a Nididhyasana Marga.
Sri Vidya is
Nididhyasana Marga.
Correct.
So because Dhyana is given so much importance and Gnana is given so much importance. So there is a difference between Gnana and Kriya. Soundarya Lahari is giving the Gnana Marga. That's why it's a Gnana Khanda. It is not talking about Diksha Khanda. It says you have to go to the right Guru and get the Diksha. Right? Either the Diksha can be through Shaktipata, the Diksha can be through Mantra Diksha, the Diksha can be through Kamakala Diksha or Kundalini Shaktipata, and you can raise it all the level. Because depending on what you have gained in previous Janma, your Prarabdha Karma and Sanchita Karma, all that put together, you are eligible, your eligibility or your Adhikaritva. Right? So, or for example, there is a Devi Marga where in my case, Devi herself came and gave the Diksha and gave the. So finally, it is the Sapariya Khanda, which is the Gnana Khanda, Diksha Khanda, Sapariya Khanda. In Diksha Khanda,
Sapariya Khanda.
Sapariya is Puja Khanda. Sapariya means puja. Puja. So that's the word that is used, interchangeably for in Sri Vidya. Sapariya is the word used for puja. So now in puja it is Bhakya puja and Anta puja. We are coming to Anta puja. Now there is a question on the Anima and Garima. That was one of the questions. Yes. Now Mooladhara is Mooladharaika Nilaya Ganapati. Ganapati has got two consorts.
Siddhi and Buddhi.
Siddhi and Buddhi. Ultimately, Siddhi, Vyashti, Samashti.
Vyashti, Samashti.
In Samashti, it is Buddhi. Sorry, Siddhi. He is Buddhi, basically.
Ganesha is Buddhi.
Ganesha is Buddhi. And Siddhi is Anima Garima.
Anima.
Now, one of the main tenets of Shri Vidya, when you raise your Kundalini and go above, in Samayachara Marga specifically, is called as Chaturvida Aikya or Shoda Aikya. Very complex concepts in Sri Vidya, and Soundarya Lahari 41st Shloka talks about that. Why it is called Samayachara? Samam Brahma. That means Brahma is also called Sama. One. Now, Brahma is Parabrahma Tattva. Parabrahma Tattva is Sama. Now, Parabrahma Tattva has got two parts, Shiva and Shakti. That means both are Sama. So, he is called Samaya. She is called Samaya or Samayamba. So, Samayamba temples are there in India.
Nimishamba,
Samayamba, Kshanamba. Yes, all this. So, Samayamba is...
Samaya, does it mean time?
Also. Here, Sama means both are equal. Shiva and Shakti, there is no difference between both of them. Both are Sama. In Sama, now, Lakshmidhara goes and talks about what are the properties of Sama. That means it is called as Samya between Shiva and Shakti. Why I say this is, one of the main tenets of Advaita is, according to Shakta Darshana, is first you will have to get the Darshana, and inside you, Devi has to give the belief that Shiva and Shakti are the same.
100%.
No Dvaita there.
To the father, the path is the mother.
Correct. But no Dvaita, because Dvaita is in the heart also. Heart also. So Advaita is a Bhava. Can you get to that Bhava where Shiva and Shakti are the same? Not a single iota of doubt. But that is a path.
Yeah.
It's an epistemological path. That is one. And then Shri Vidya differentiates multiple elements in that.
Got it.
Which is, basically it says Nada, Bindu, Kala. Then they say equate all of it.
Yeah.
Then they say Shri Chakra and Matruka. Can you equate it? Then they say Shri Chakra, Nava Avarana and your Shat Chakras. Can you equate it? So there are margas for equating it.
Shri Chakra, Nava Avarana and Shat Chakra.
Shat Chakra.
Shat Chakra within the body. Shri Chakra is the yantra. And Shri Chakra within you is Shat Chakra. Inner aspect of Shri Chakra is yantra.
No, it says that in Bhavana Upanishad, the highest of the Samayachara Upanishad, it says Shri Chakra is within the body.
Yeah, body is the Shri Chakra.
Now, how is the question?
Yeah.
That's the engineering aspect. Without asking how can I believe?
Yeah.
Believe, there is always a doubt inside me.
Yeah.
They say, show me the proof.
Yeah.
This proof is the Sri Vidya Jnana Marga.
Okay.
So you differentiate and bring it to constituent elements. When you integrate it back again, we have studied differentiation and integration. How do you integrate? First, the final integration is Shiva Shakti.
Yeah.
And the final integration, Shiva Shakti in union is the same as Atma. Jivatma. That's also one integration. Another integration is Shat Chakras and Shri Chakra are the same. That means Shri Chakra is within your body. There also, there are multiple levels.
Shri Chakra represents Brahmanda, And your body represents Pindada.
Brahmanda and Pindada are
they are same in terms of chakras.
In terms of everything. 36 tattvas, chakras. So at some level, Sri Chakra itself is a science. It's a framework. It's a separate theology and a philosophy. That's the reason Sri Vidya is difficult, not easy. To kind of get to the space of it. So now, if we come to the perspective of saying, why am I saying that is Shat Chakra and Sri Chakra are the same?
Yes.
Now, if I have a Bahya Sri Chakra, in Saguna Rupa, I cannot equate it. Because the moment I say Sri Chakra, in my mind, it is Nava Avaranas. Starting from either, they'll say, no, it is either a diagram, it is on a gold leaf.
Nama Rupa comes.
You can't escape Nama Rupa. Unless you move to Nirguna. So if you have to know the Nirguna, you have to do the Aropa of Sri Chakra into your body.
Correct.
So there are multiple ways there. One is so if we look at the Sthula Rupa of our body, it is said that Shiva, so Sri Chakra is made up of, they say, 5 Shakti triangles and 4 Shiva triangles interlocking with each other.
Correct.
That is one architecture. It is 11th sloka of Sri Soundarya Lahari, Chaturbihi Shri Kantaihi Shiva Yuvatibihi Panchabhirapi Prabhinnabihi Shambho Navabhirapi Mula Prakrutibihi Chatushchatvarimshat Vasudala Kalashra Trivalaya Trirekabihi Sardam Tavat Sharana Konaha Parinataha. So he talks about, first, there are 5 triangles which are totally separate from the 5 Shakti triangles and they interlock with each other. That forms the Mula Trikona and the Nava Yonis. Nava Yonis can be taken as one central triangle and the Ashtakonas where Vashinyadi Vagdevatas reside, the 7th chakra from outside to inside, or it can be taken as Nava Avaranas. So multiple. So either in Kaulachara, Samayachara, or multiple Bhavana, multiple schools of thought. But let's take both, it doesn't matter. So once that comes, Sri Chakra is actually a cosmogram.
Yes.
So
it's actually architecture of cosmos.
Cosmos itself. Not only the architecture, it is space-time included in it.
Sri Chakra is nothing but the cosmos represented in spiritual dimension.
Correct, spiritual dimension. Here,
I'll call it the blueprint of the universe.
Totally. So the moment I use the word blueprint, again it is time. Space there. Time is not there.
Space-time blueprint.
Space and time blueprint. And it's a cosmogram because it talks about pre-Big Bang. Okay, and then he talks about Big Bang. Then he talks about the evolution of the universe. Then he talks about what is it today.
It's completely universal. In a represented in a diagrammatic way, in a symbolic way.
A symbolic way.
In symbolic. I would say it is not symbolic.
So symbolic. And you take that symbiology, right? And then you do the Aropa inside. So why we say that is the 4 Shiva chakras can be kind of analogous to the 4 white elements in the body. It's one is Shukra, which is the Shiva Tattvas. So white elements. Shukra, Marja, the bone. The bone marrow. So like that, there are 4 elements. I don't remember all of them.
Okay.
The Shakti Tattva is the 5 Rakta elements. Like the tissue, the blood, all that. So both of them put together, ultimately, that's how our body is a Sri Chakra. That is one of the Adi Bhautika representation of Sri Chakra. But there are a lot of people who worship at that level. The more subtler level, Sukshma level is, I go and integrate the Nava Avaranas of Sri Chakra with my 6 chakras. That's where the Trailokya Mohana Chakra of the Bhupura outside is called Bhupura. Bhu Tattva is the same as Mooladhara Tattva, which is Bhu Tattva. So my Mooladhara Chakra is the same as the Nava Avarana, in the 9th Avarana, or the first Avarana from outside, is the Trailokya Mohana Chakra. Another proof is that Trailokya Mohana Chakra, it has got 3 Bhupuras, 3 enclosures. The first enclosure is the Siddhi Devi Mandira, which has got Anima Garima. And in our Mooladhara also we've got Ganapati and Anima Garima, which means that the first thing, so if I say that my Mooladhara is nothing but Bhupura, I got my Anima Garima and Mudra Devis. All the Devis are sitting here in my Mooladhara, in the Adidaivika mode, Adidaivika perspective. And I will do puja to them, Antah Puja, and tell, Amma, I have done puja, please rise.
Wake up.
Wake up, come up.
Wake up.
Yes. So that's why Nididhyasana Marga, it's easier rather than the Raja Yoga, the difficult path of Hatha Yoga.
Yeah.
Right. So, because Sri Vidya Upasakas have, in many Janmas, they would have passed through the Raja Yoga Marga and they would have come to the Bhavana Marga already. Right. So, raising her up. Now, as soon as you climb the Mooladhara, automatically the Siddhi is given, because the Siddhi is, Ganapati is happy, Bala is happy, they will immediately give the Ashtasiddhis. But do we transcend it?
After this is how to offer back to Shiva.
Correct. So
return it.
If I'm, caught in
you will be trapped.
Three Purusharthas.
Another Maya.
Correct. 3 Purusharthas. I will not, or I will stay there. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana in the Andatamishvara.
Will not go.
Correct. If I am in the Moksha Marga, the 4th one, Purushartha, then they are very happy. They will remain with us. Anima Garima is not going anywhere. They will remain with us. The Siddhis are going to be there, but they will be used for a different purpose. They will be not used for Laukika.
Siddhis work for Siddha Purusha.
Correct, Siddha Purusha. They will become a ladder.
Rather than Purusha working for Siddhi.
Yes. They will become a ladder for us, and the Sadhaka Yogi is able to climb up and pass the Brahma Granthi much more easily. So, this is the answer to the question raised by our esteemed.
So, Maharaji, did you get the answer?
Beautifully explained, sir. Beautifully.
Thank you. If you have any questions, please.
My mother guided me to my guru, and I'm blessed. That's what I can tell you. My
Very good. So, in this marga, we will only stick to the Samayachara marga. Kaulachara marga, we don't need it because we are in the Sringeri Parampara. Right? We are here. So, naturally, we are selected to be in the Samayachara marga. So, with that process, we kind of slowly climb up. Once we move up to Swadhisthana, and then we come to Manipura. 7th shloka of Soundarya Lahari talks about, it says, Kwanat Kanchi Dama Kari Kalabha Kumbhastananata. So, and Parikshina Madhye Sharas Chandra Vadana. Her face is like autumnal moon. Autumnal moon is the Sharat Chandra, which is the closest, the harvest moon. One blemish illada, one Chandra Kalaya Rupadalli Avada Mukhada ವರ್ಣನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Radiant like a moon.
Radiant like a Sharat Purnima. Moon. Because on that, out of 12 Purnimas in a year, that one Purnima is where the moon is the closest to the earth, and it is supposed to be very big. It's called as the harvest moon.
Yes.
ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಳಿದೆ ಆ ಮೂನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಬ್ಲೆಮಿಶ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ
just interruption.
Please.
A relationship between Sri Vidya and Kamakshi. Sri Vidya is the Kamakshi. See, there are 3 aspects here: Sri Vidya and Kamakshi and Shankaracharya.
Yes.
This relationship we want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll explain.
Kamakshi is the name given to Adi Parashakti. Okay. We think we have given it, but she has anointed herself that first. Herself as Kamakshi. Now, Kama Akshi, that means she is looking at the whole world with compassion. And love. And Kama Akshi, she is looking at Prema towards Shiva. Kamakshi. So she is looking at Shiva with the divine desire. Right, to say, Shiva, wake up. Like Parvati looking at Shiva in tapas, who is in samadhi, right? And then after Sati, she was looking at that reverence towards Shiva to say, wake up. Okay, that's when Kama came and then he did his work. So, why the word Kama? It's so important, and we kind of digressed from the word of Kadi Vidya or Kamaraja Vidya. Right? So,
Relation between Sri Vidya.
She is asking Sri Vidya and Kamakshi relationship. Exactly. Sri Vidya, how is it related to Kamakshi?
Kamakshi is another name for Tripura Sundari. Simple. There is no difference between Tripura Sundari and Kamakshi. Right? So, her Vidya, Tripura Sundari Vidya is Sri Vidya, which is all the knowledge about her, everything about her, and which means the Brahmanda Vidya, the whole Vidya of complete Brahmanda, including the progeny part, the process of progeny creating the Jivatmas and Jivatmas becoming one with.
So, very simple way to say, Kamakshi is the Divine Mother. She is the Parashakti. She is the Tripura Sundari. She has manifested at the entire universe. The knowledge of the entire universe is called Sri Vidya. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Is it clear? Okay.
Satya, Dharma, Rita. The Rita, which is the entire Mahat Tattva.
Mahat Tattva.
So the Mahat Tattva is basically her in the whole universe.
Mahat Tattva is universal intelligence.
Universal intelligence.
Universal intelligence. She is the mother.
So that's the Vidya part of
Vidya part.
the universal intelligence.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes.
Is it clear? Clear? Okay. Proceed.
Yeah, we were in the, before the Kadi Vidya, I was saying something.
Kamakala.
Kama.
So Kameshwari.
Ah.
See, she looks at Shiva with Kama.
Yeah. She looks at Shiva with Kama. Now, Kama is celebrated in Soundarya Lahari and in Sri Vidya.
Sri Vidya.
So this is for us, the moment we say Kama, there are multiple perspectives that we bring. We call him Eros.
Yes.
We call him Manmatha.
Yes.
At some level, we have relegated him to a position where we do Kama Dahana.
Yeah.
So for us, Kama is, from a symbol perspective, he should be shunned.
Yeah.
Is where we come from. And in our Vedantic thought process also, we talk about Urdhvaretas.
Urdhvaretas.
And
Brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya. The moment we have Brahmacharya, it is Indriya Nigraha.
Indriya Nigraha.
So which means Kama should be avoided or Nigraha.
Yeah.
So that is the thought process with which our whole ethos of going towards Samadhi state. But our Sri Vidya is totally in a reverse way. It celebrates Kama. And when we celebrate Kama, the word Kama is used for us to transcend the Laukika Kama and move towards the Bhakti Rasa for a human being.
Yes.
Right? And when I look at, so Soundarya Lahari, when we talk about Soundarya Lahari, the first 41 shlokas are about the Nirguna Swarupa. And after 42, we have Divine Mother and we have Anga Pratyanga Varnana of Devi. From her Kesha all the way to Pada.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you take Konat Kanchi Dama, Kari Kalaba Kumbhastananata, we have Devi's Stana as the Gandasthala of an elephant. And it is so big, and her Nadu is so Krisha.
Yeah.
That she is bending.
Is it symbolic or metaphorical or is actual?
It is metaphorical and symbolic.
Metaphorical,
Symbolic. Here we are talking about Devi as a Kameshwari waiting for Shiva at one level.
Yeah.
Another level is she is her Matruka Swarupa. Her breasts are so beautifully like golden pots.
Yeah.
That she is with her milk.
Yeah.
Of knowledge milk, she is feeding all the Jivatmas.
Her milk is Amrita.
Amrita.
Nectar. Atma Dhnana.
Yes.
Self-knowledge.
In fact, there are shlokas 72 and 73 of Soundarya Lahari where it says that Ganesha and Subramanya are drinking from her stana, one on this side, one on this side, continuously.
Yes.
Ganesha and Subramanya. 73rd shloka says in Soundarya Lahari that only because they are actually Kumaras even today, both of them Ganesha and Subramanya, because they don't have any any attraction towards any stree. They are brahmacharis. They don't have the worldly thought processes of kama, just because they have drunk the Amrutapana from her mother, from their mother. So to that extent, Adi Shankara goes, he takes the bhava to that level.
Yeah.
So even rasa as a word is actually falls very short there.
Yes.
Right? So when you say bhavana, we don't even have to say she is matru.
Yes.
That's the reason I said, for me, as Shiva, she was the mother, daughter and wife at the same time without any conflict.
Did Shankaracharya compose Soundarya Lahari with respect to Kamakshi in Kanchipitam, or he composed in some Himalayas or somewhere?
Yes, there are two main stories. Yeah, thanks for bringing this point.
Yeah.
It's an important point. So, one story, sir, ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ, ನೀವು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು chair or according to one story, now Adi Shankara is amsha of
Shiva.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವತಾರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಶ
Of Shivamsha.
ಶಿವಾಂಶ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ there is no difference between Shiva and Adi Shankara.
Yeah.
So that is one Advaita that we'll have to very importantly, imbibe inside us. So whether Adi Shankara composed Soundarya Lahari or Shiva composed Soundarya Lahari, is the same for us.
Same person.
Same for us. That Advaita is important. But for Laukika Upachara, we'll go and see the story. One story is that Adi Shankara went to Kailasa to see, to get the darshan of Shiva and Shakti. And Nandi was not there at that time. Nandi had the vara from Shiva that he will not let anybody into the sanctum of Shiva Shakti without Nandi's permission.
Yes.
Some reason Nandi was not there. So Shiva, Adi Shankara went directly. And then Adi Shankara was given two things. One, the Atma, 5 Atma Lingas was given to Adi Shankara, which he came and established later. And Devi and Shiva together, they gave the manuscript of Soundarya Lahari, all the 100 shlokas. And then Adi Shankara thanked both of them. He climbed down Himalayas, and as he was coming out of the sanctum, Nandishwara kind of, he comes up in the way and he says, how dare you go inside without my permission? And then in that quick fit of rage, he takes the Soundarya Lahari. He cannot touch the Atmalingas, right? So takes the Soundarya Lahari, he throws it. Then immediately, this is Leela of Shiva and Shakti.
Yeah.
So suddenly, mother, he hears mother talking, Nandi, what have you done? Go and fetch all of them. So Nandi goes and fetches. But he is not able to fetch. The first 41 he'll be able to fetch. The rest of them, 42 to 100, he's not able to fetch the 15 shlokas. He doesn't get it. So Parvati says, so wait, Magu. Adi Shankara, take the first 41.
Yeah.
And you compose the rest of it. So the first 41, now all of them were composed by Shiva himself, right? First.
Right.
So the first 41, automatically he kept it what Shiva composed. So which is the first 41, which is Ananda Lahari, which is basically the Ananda. The next 59 are composed by Adi Shankara, which is Soundarya Lahari, right? So this is one stula. Right? We'll come to that. We'll come to what is Ananda, what is Soundarya in a moment. But before that, another story goes this way. That Adi Shankara was in Kerala. His father was Shiva Guru and mother was Aryambe. He was 3 years old, Adi Shankara. And there was a temple, Devi temple, Bhagavati temple behind Adi Shankara's house. And Shiva Guru would go every day and do puja and archana and do palabhishekam, milk offering, and come back. So when he used to come back, he used to give the 3-year-old Adi Shankara some milk to drink as a prasadam. So Adi Shankara, and he would say, the goddess has had all of it and I'm giving you this so much. Adi Shankara believed this. And there was a time when our man Shiva Guru had to go out of station and he told his wife, please do the puja every day. You go with Adi Shankara and do the puja. And Aryambe said yes, and it so happened that she came to her monthly cycle. So she could not go to the temple. She said, Adi Shankara, Magu, you go and give the offering to Devi and you come back. You also do the Prasad Grahana. So Adi Shankara goes with innocence He does the puja like how he had seen his father do. And generally when we do the Naivedya and all that, there is a parda, right? So we don't show. So he gave the Naivedyam. He thought that Devi will drink it. So he put the patre of milk and he says, Amma, drink. Devi is not drinking. So Devi is a stone statue. So he says, why when my father gives you drink, when I give you don't drink, what is this? So this is injustice to me. You are my mother. You are my Mahamate. So how can you not do this? So then Devi is silent. So this boy comes to tears. He says, Amma, you don't listen to me. So if you don't listen to me and drink this, I'm going to, do, what is it? I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to put my head, I'm going to bang my head on the stone and I'm going to kill myself. And then he starts doing that and Karunamayi, Dayamayi, Tai, she appears. She says, Kanda, don't do this. You've got a long way to go. Come.
Yeah.
And then she drinks all the milk.
Oh.
And then Adi Shankara says,
Nothing left.
nothing left for me. What do I do? Hey, mujhe bhi do do. You drank everything. She smiles and says, yeah, that's how it is. And then she takes him and gives the Stanyapana.
Oh.
So when in that Stanyapana, say I'm like, goosebumps for me already.
Yeah.
So in that Stanyapana, Adi Shankara gets all the divine knowledge of Devi. And this allegory is in the 74th shloka of Soundarya, where he calls himself Dravida Shishu. The word Dravida Shishu is given in Soundarya, which means Adi Shankara, young age. Now, as soon as he gets that Amrutapana from Devi's sthana, then he walks out. As he's walking back from the temple to his house, Soundarya flows from his mouth.
That's in childhood only.
Childhood only 3 years. So these are the two stories. The first story, I don't know what is the source, but the second story comes from one of the Vyakyanakaras called Dindima. Dindima has done a Soundarya Bhashya. It's called Dindima Bhashya. So in that, he mentions this one, second story, which is the Adi Shankara has. That's why he's called. And one of the proofs that Adi Shankara himself has written this Soundarya work is also by the word Dravida Shishu as a signature. That Dravida Shishu is none other than Adi Shankara.
Dravida means South India.
South India. Dravida is South India's Dravida Shishu. So from Kerala. So that's one of the proofs that Adi Shankara actually composed this Soundarya Lahari. So but different Bhashikaras give different perspectives. But this is basically what Adi Shankara, the creator of Soundarya Lahari. So coming back to the point of Kadi Vidya. We were there.
Yeah.
So Manmatha is one of the prominent. It is said that Manmatha is the mantra drashtara of Shri Vidya.
Oh, Manmatha. It's okay?
Start.
ಮನ್ಮಥ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಮದೇವ. ಮನ್ಮಥ ಮೊದಲು ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ?
ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ.
ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ?
ಪಂಚದಶಾಕ್ಷರಿ
ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ ಮನ್ಮಥ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಾಮದೇವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಕಾಮದೇವ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಸೊ ಮನ್ಮಥ, ಕಾಮದೇವ, ಅನಂಗ, ಮಾರ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯೂಪಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್. ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಡೇ ಕ್ಯೂಪಿಡ್. So basically, Valentine's Day is a celebration of Kamadeva. Kamadahana is now Mado Agatya illa. We have to celebrate Shri Vidya, we have to celebrate Kamadeva. Now, Kamadeva, avanige Rajo, Tamassu, if Vijrumbani Adaga, he becomes Bandasura.
ಅದು ಕಾಮದಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಕಾಮದಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ರಜೋತ್ತಮ ಗುಣ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕಾಮನನ್ನು ದಹನ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಮದೇವನಲ್ಲ. ಬಂಡಾಸುರನ ಅದನ್ನೇ, ಅದೇ ಕಾಮದಾನ.
ಅದನ್ನ ಆತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಕಾಮದೇವ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನ ತಂಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬಳಿದ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲಿಗೂ ಅದು ಅಧಿದೈವಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ತತ್ವ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಂತರ ಯಜ್ಞದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸೊ ಮನ್ಮಥ ಕಾಮದೇವ. ಮನ್ಮಥ ಮಂತ್ರ ಪಂಚಾದಶಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ.
ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ ಅಂದರೆ ಋಷಿ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ದ ವೇ ವಿ ಸೇ ಹೌ ವಿಶ್ವಾಮಿತ್ರ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮಂತ್ರ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರ ಆಫ್ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ.
ಹೌದು.
Similarly, for Panchadashakshari Shri Vidya mantra, Kamadeva was the mantra drashta. So he got Panchadashakshari for the first time from Devi herself. Then came others.
Because she sent him to bring Shiva.
That is the Adi Daivika Aligati. But the primordial thing of Ekoham Bahusyama itself exists because of Kamadeva. Otherwise, Bahu is not possible.
Bahu is not possible. Okay.
Right? So, Kamadeva is an essential integrated element within Shiva and Shakti.
Yeah.
For them to become many.
Correct.
So, at that level, primordial element ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. And he's Ananga means he's invisible.
Yeah.
Which means till Devi gives the darshana of her, we cannot see Kamadeva because he's invisible. That from a Tattva Rupa he's invisible.
Yeah.
From Adi Daivika he was burnt. By Shiva. Right? From his third eye.
Yeah.
But from Tattva Rupa, unless I understand Ekoham Bhaushyama and he becomes many.
Ekoham Bhaushyama, one become many.
Many. To become many, Kamadeva has to be present.
Yeah.
Because procreation has to happen.
Yes.
Many barode allinda. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ Kamadeva is a necessary and sufficient condition for procreation to happen.
Basically, he is necessary and sufficient condition for Shiva and Shakti to unite.
ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ at that level, he is the first rishi to get Devi Swarupa. Her mantra Swarupa, also her Kamakala Swarupa, also her Kundalini Swarupa. Right? Because she is in Swadhisthana.
She is in
Kundalini.
Yeah.
Right? So to that extent, he is available for all the things. In Stula also he is available.
Yes.
But we see him differently.
Right.
So now, this he being mantra drashtara is elucidated in a Upanishad called Arunopanishad. Okay. And in Taittariya Aranyaka. In some of the verses of Taittariya.
Mamata?
Okay. So in Taittariya Aranyaka and in Arunopanishad, Kamadeva's why Kamadeva is Atyanta Mahatvada Rishi in Sri Vidya. He is actually elucidated. And why? Who is elucidated? Lakshmi Dhara in his Soundarya Lahari Vyakhyana has brought all these shlokas. Okay. But interestingly, it said that he is Ananga. When he has no body, which means Annamaya, Karanamaya, there is no body.
There's no body.
Anandamaya Kosha only.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit of Karanamaya Kosha. And he is available only to the eyes of Rati, nobody else. Only his wife is able to see him. Through Rati, he operates.
Yeah.
Right? That is for a Laukika. But for Paramarthika perspective, he is Ananga. So how can he receive Kadi Vidya or Vidya? So he actually wears it as a mala. Panchadashakshari is the 15 letters mala. He wears it on his neck even though he is Ananga. Then he stitches all the pearls into a mala. So Arunopanishad talks about all this. Taittariya Aranyaka talks like that in his Ruk. Right. So he says he is Ananga. In spite of that, he was able to get the Panchadashakshari mantra and wear it and make it his own.
Yes.
Ilahrim.
Ka-e-ilahrim.
Ha-sa-ka-ha-lahrim.
Asa-ka-lahrim.
Sa-ka-lahrim.
Sa-ka-lahrim.
So that is the Panchadashakshari. Then one extra Aksharam, which is called Shreem, is added. Shreem, which becomes Shodashakshari.
Okay.
So that is Panchadashakshari plus Shodashakshari. Now, what is the difference between Kadi Vidya mantra and other Sri Vidya mantra? Which is today there are two prevalent. One is called Hadi Vidya, one is Kadi Vidya.
Hadi Vidya and Kadi Vidya.
Hadi Vidya is called a Lopamudra Vidya. Lopamudra was Agastya's wife. There is Agastya Vidya also, Nandi Vidya also. There are many Sri Vidya Drashtaras. So among that, today available in North India, mostly Hadi Vidya.
Hadi Vidya.
Hadi Vidya. So Hadi Vidya.
Hadi Vidya is Agastya Rishi's way.
Lopamudra.
Lopamudra's way.
So it is said that Agastya got his Sri Vidya Diksha from Lopamudra, from his wife. Wife only. Right. So now, and Agastya married Kaveri. So he's in the Vindhya. Right. So Karnataka. Right. So Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now, the difference between the Lopamudra Vidya and Kadi Vidya are the letters. So the first letter is Ka in Kadi Vidya, then A in Ka A, then E Lahrim. Ka A is the difference. Ka A E Lahrim, Ha Sa Ka Ha Lahrim, Sa Ka Lahrim. So the first kuta, the first part is called Vagbhava Kuta. The second part is Kamaraja Kuta. The third one is Shakti Kuta.
Vagbhava. It can come through tongue.
Yeah, it actually this part is Vagbhava. So second part is Kamaraja Kuta. The middle part of his body. The next is Shakti Kuta, which is the lower part. At some levels, it's also reversed. That this is Vagbhava, this is Kamaraja, this is Shakti, depending on the perspectives. Right? So one is Srishti, one is Laya. Now, Vagbhava Kuta changes in Lopamudra Vidya and Kamaraja Vidya. So Lopamudra Vidya, it is Ha Sa Ka La Hrim instead of Ka A E La Hrim. That's all. Otherwise, all the Kamaraja Kuta and Shakti Kuta are the same. Right. So now, Kamaraja Vidya is the most prevalent one and it is used for Samayachara. So which means our Sringeri Parampara is a Kamaraja Vidya. So which is Kadi Vidya. So the Ananga Vidya. So in its highest sattvic form. Right? Now, why are we talking about this? We use the word Bhavani Bhavana Gamya. Which means our Jivan Mukta state we can reach only with Bhavana. Not by Japa.
Bhavana, Bhava Samadhi is Jivan Mukti.
Exactly. Jivan Mukti. How do I translate or how do I transcend from the Vak, which is Japa, to the Artha? Bhava is Artha. So Shiva is Artha, Shakti is Vak.
Shakti is Vak and Shiva is
Artha. So, which means Shiva is as Sakshi embedded inside.
Yeah.
So the reason why I use the word meaning is the Artha. It is said that in any mantra from that matter, including Panchadashakshari mantra, the Vak or Gayatri mantra, Vak is the mantra, Aksharas. The Artha is the Devata inside. Right? So, Devata means Shiva Shakti embedded. But at the same time, Vak is also Shakti. Because she is the energy part. Right? So, when I say Gam Ganapataye Namaha, the word Gam as a Bijakshara, So, I break it down. Then finally there is Bindu and Ardha Chandra and all that. So, you go all the way to the Navanadas. So, in the Navanada, the Unmani Shiva, the rest of them are all Shakti. That's the Artha. Final Artha is Unmani.
Shiva is the silence. Silence part is Shiva.
Dakshinamurti.
And everything is Shakti.
Everything else is Shakti. So, only when I get to that silence, I am in Bhavane. Right. Now, in Samayachara, it is said that if you have to enter the Nagara of Sri Vidya,
City of Sri
Vidya, that means if you have to go to Samayachara, if you have to go all the way up here, you have to let go of Japa, of Panchadashakshari mantra.
From mantra Japa to Ajapa.
But when it becomes Ajapa, only when through the Artha. Otherwise, Ajapa doesn't happen.
Ajapa, see, words have different levels, right? Walk, loud, Upamshu, Manasika, and Ajapa. Ajapa Japa is when you have become one with Shiva. It's actually, that's the real Artha. Ajapa is the Artha.
Yes. Now, Panchadashakshari is just Ka, E, Ila, Hrim, Hasaka, La, Hrim, Sakalim. Where do I find Artha in it?
Yeah.
Where is Artha?
Yeah.
What is Ka?
Ah.
What is A? What is E?
Yeah.
In that also there are multiple levels.
Yes.
Stula, Sukshma. And there is a very important scholar called as Bhaskaracharya.
Bhaskaracharya.
So Bhaskaracharya, in his Sri Vidya work called as Varivasya Rahasyam, has said Panchadashakshari mantra has got 16 meanings, which means he says the number of arthas for any mantra is equivalent to the number of words, a number of syllables in it.
Any, let's say a mantra has 4 aksharams, then 4 levels of meanings are there.
Four
That's what it is.
meanings are there, 4 levels of meaning.
4 levels of meanings are there.
That's what he says, but he's not given proof for all of them. So, which means if it is Panchadashakshari or Shodashakshari, it's got 16
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.
One small question. Bhaskaracharya or Basuranandanathar is the same, sir, what
Yes,
you are
both are
mentioning?
correct. Correct.
Can you
Basuran-
please tell that Basuranandanathar story once Guruji will know, because it will help. He's from Bijapura, Guruji, Basuranandanathar.
yes.
And
Yes.
his lineage is still there. Please
You can tell
tell
the
that story.
Please, you tell the story. We will listen.
Okay, you are a storyteller. You tell me the story.
Tell the story
Basuranandanathar.
of 64
Incidentally, it takes all of them are centered in Karnataka. Many
How the
things are
Guruji?
happening in Karnataka. Karnataka seems to be center of the cosmos.
Karnataka. ನಾಟಕವಾಡಿ ಜೀವನದ ನಾಟಕವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ
Okay.
ಬಾಸುರಾನಂದನಾಥರ್ ರಾಜನ ಆಶ್ರಯದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
English, please. English, please.
Basuranandanathar will be in King's Kingdom in Bijapura. There, on that day, he would have told that today is an Paurnami. When entire Shishyas of him, entire Rajas, Ashrayas, like well-learned people would have told, today is Amavasya. Then how Basuranandanathar is telling today is a Paurnami? Then immediately what happens, Basuranandanathar says, today is Amavasya, not Amavasya, today is Paurnami. That day will be Amavasya actually. Basuranandanathar goes around evening to give Tarpana in the river. Am I correct, sir? Am I correct? Yeah. That time, immediately, about to be Amavasya, Mata, Jaganmata throws her Muguti towards sun.
Nose ring.
Muguti. Nose stud. She throws, ornament. She's diamond ornament. That day, it looks like a moon. Entire Shishyas, entire this thing will say, what a beautiful vision. When Sri Vidya Upasaka says, this is going to happen, that is what is going to happen. That is what Vaksiddhi Sri Vidya Upasaka will get. That was the real happened thing that I wanted to tell a story for students, all our kids. I was thinking, I wanted to tell. So I will narrate one day, Guruji. I will definitely narrate, Guruji. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
This continues.
And now another question comes here. Why Devi is compared to Chandra? She's called Chandra Kala. Why not Surya Kala? Why not Agni Kala? Why only Chandra? Any idea? And it said that Sahasrara is Chandra Kala. And we say, Samayachara people do puja in the night from Amavasya to Paurnami. We got 15 Nitya Kalas all the way to Paurnami, and then you got Paurnami there. And we say basically the Vishuddhi Chakra, it's got 16 syllables, Akara to Aha. So that is nothing but our Nitya. Everything is related to Chandra. We are Chandramana. Sri Vidya is Chandramana, not Sauramana. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So this is not, we can't answer this in Adhidaivika because Chandra, we have never given him an Adhidaivika. We have never put him in Adhidaivika realm. At some level we say Chandra is Chanchala. So Manas and Chandra are synonymous to each other. At some level we say that. And we also relegate Chandra, when we talk about Ganapati, we relegate Chandra to be the one who has done apahasya and he gets a shapa, right, in Adhidaivika. So, but in all these perspectives, when we come to Sri Vidya, Chandra and Kamadeva are given such importance. So, what is this Chandra? Why Chandra? Sharat Chandra Vadana, we say, and the 15th, 16th and 17th shloka of Soundarya Lahari is called as Saraswata Prayoga. So we start with saying Sharad Jyotsnam Shuddham. That means her body should be visualized as, when we do the dhyana, which is the Sharada Swarupa, as the Sharat Kalina Chandra. So now when you are saying this, we are talking about Paurnami also, which is Chandra. So Chandra is given a very, very important role here. And it is also said that when Kundalini awakens and when Sadhaka Yogi actually gets the Amrita Dhare, it is nothing but it is in the form of as cool as which actually does the Varsha, Amrita Varsha of all the 72,000 nadis, it comes as Chandra Kirana. Right? So everything in Sri Vidya, it's also called Chandra Kala Vidya, is related to Chandra. Now, is this the same as the Chandra that is in our solar system? Has any relation to the Chandra in our solar system who revolves around the sun got anything to do with this? So this is a question one has to ponder in Sri Vidya and get an answer to. That answer is not easy. Now, one of the things that Adi Shankara says, Devi's Amrita is as cool as Chandra Kirana, Shita Kirana, that is one. Shiva is called as Prakasha Swarupa, Shakti is called Vimarsha Swarupini.
Prakasha and Vimarsha.
Prakasha and Vimarsha. This is a very, very important concept.
It's actually in Vedantic language, Atma Jyoti and reflection of Atma Jyoti is Chidabhasa.
Chidabhasa.
Reflection.
Correct.
Devi is Chidabhasa.
Chidabhasa.
Shiva is Prakasha, Atma Jyoti.
Correct.
Atma Jyoti, Prakasha of reflection. Atma Jyoti is for Prakasha and reflection is for Chidabhasa.
Chidabhasa.
Shakti.
Yes. Now, why is she called as Vimarsha? What is... We can kind of understand Prakasha because Swayambhu, self-illuminating. Yeah. We get it because the example that we have is Surya. One of the examples that we have for Vimarsha is basically reflectivity. Reflectivity. What is the physical what is the example is moon. Moon reflects. But does it mean that moon does not have any energy on its own? Why should it reflect? Is it like tamasic in nature? So from that perspective, we cannot take Shakti there into that, right? So the nature of reflection. So when I say reflection, is she reflecting the light like moon or reflectivity is her nature? That means Shiva seeing his own reflection in Shakti is how he is experiencing the whole universe.
Yes.
He's experiencing, it's like Kannadi Yodagina Gantu.
Yeah. Reflection in the mirror.
Reflection in the mirror. So, she is the mirror, she is the reflection, she is also the object in the mirror.
Yes.
And he's the Drik.
He is a Drik.
She is the Drishya. So, from Shiva's perspective, she is Vimarsha. But from our perspective, we are embedded
in the dream.
in the
mirror.
Kannadi. So, that Kannadi itself is Maya.
Maya.
But for Shiva, she is not Maya.
She is not.
She is Vimarsha.
Shiva seeing his reflection, and the images are Shakti. Correct. And we are also part of the Shakti.
We are part of the Shakti.
So for us, who she?
Yes, for us, who she. So only when I transcend. So when we call Vimarsha, it is not for us. It is for Shiva.
Shiva.
We don't understand that. We think for us it is Vimarsha.
Shiva is looking at the mirror and saying, enjoying himself.
Yeah.
It's like
Leela. So this whole philosophy of cosmology is so beautiful that you have to see it from the architect's perspective. For example, in Matrix, you said something very beautiful. When Anderson, he goes to meet the architect.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of televisions there.
Right.
So the architect actually laughs at him.
We are speaking of the movie called Matrix.
Yeah. So the
Which is actually Matrix means Maya.
Maya.
The movie is about Maya.
Correct. So
okay, he sees a lot of televisions.
Lot of television. So this fellow laughs and he says, I mean, what do you want? I'll show you that. So beautifully, it is visualized to say the perspective of the architect.
Yeah.
And architect is not doing, he's just sitting and doing sakshi.
Yeah, he's just watching.
He's just watching.
That's why it's Shiva Leela.
It's Shiva Leela. So this entire Leela of Shiva, it's called Leelavada.
Yeah.
So Shiva is watching, and now coming to this reflectivity.
Yeah.
There is also another word given to this reflection. It's called virtual. Okay, virtual, not as opposed to real.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people in the virtual world do not know that it's virtual.
For them, it's real.
For them, it is real.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example very easily. Let us say I'm a movie director.
Yes.
I mean, this is very much similar to our Mandukya.
Yeah.
It comes to that. I'm a movie director.
Yeah.
And I have directed a movie.
Correct.
And the movie is shown on television.
Correct.
Okay. And I know that it's my movie.
Yes.
I am the script writer. I am the director. And what is shown on television is a rerun. That means it is shown 100 times, 101 times. Let's say I'm watching this and I'm like narcissistic.
Yeah.
And Shiva is the most narcissistic.
Shiva is enjoying himself.
He is enjoying himself. My creation. Ekoham bahusyam. I have created this. Aham idam. I have known myself. So he is the most narcissistic. You can't get more narcissistic than him. Right? And then he's, I mean, like a director is watching the movies and my creation. He is realizing himself through the movie.
Yes.
Right? Now, what about the characters in the movie?
Oh, they are going through trouble.
Yeah. So, for example, you've got Nazaruddin Shah, you got all these actors, but they're not actors, they're characters. But the characters inside the television, imagine they're alive. They start at the beginning of the movie and they die at the end of the movie, irrespective of whatever happens. Right? There's no story there.
There's no story there.
Right? The story is in the figments of imagination of the director.
Yes.
So in that imagination.
Yeah.
So that's why we say we live in the figments of imagination of the God.
Yes.
Right? So that is his imagination. He is imagining, he's created a story, and there are those objects that are inside that movie think that
they
live in that movie as those characters. They think they are real.
They are real.
So for them, that whole television itself is Hiranyagarbha. So they can't escape from it. So they exist till the electricity is on. And the TV is on. The DVD disc is on. The movie is on.
Or director decides the movie should be ended.
The director says pause. Ends. Done. So that is Srishti Sthiti Laya Tirodhana Anubhuta. So if we understand, then the whole television is the virtual, that whole world is Maya. Okay, and that electricity, everything that drives, everything is Lalita Tripura Sundari in this whole universe.
The word Maya means Yama iti Maya. What is not there appears to be there. Appears to be there is called real. What is not there is called Maya. So in the modern language, you have to say it's virtual reality.
Yes.
Not really real, virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Consciousness enjoying itself.
Consciousness enjoying itself, dream.
In the dream. Right? So, now, I want, whenever you want, I will take a break. But while there are a couple. Okay. So, we were talking about Kadi Vidya, we were talking about in Samayachara, we go to a level where even Japa is...
Japa is also, it has to become Ajapa.
It is said that you also have to leave the Rishi behind.
Rishi, Chandas, Chandas.
So which means, when we talk about Antaryaga and Bahiryaga, Bahiryaga Anga there is, then Antaryaga Anga. In Bahiryaga Anga, when we chant, for example, Lalita Sahasranama or Vishnu Sahasranama, you got Anushtup Chandaha, Vashinyadi Vagdevata Rushayaha, right? then Kilaka, Shakti, right? Then Nyasa. That we think is actually Antaryaga.
Yes.
And that is Japa. In Samayachara, Lakshmidhara says, and including even Gaudapada, also and Bhaskara Raya in Varivasya Rahasya, this was Sri Vidya Grantha, they say that you have to let go of the Rishi.
Yes.
Ili Vashinyadi Vagdevata Rishayaha. Right? You have to let go of the Rishi,
Yeah.
who is Kamaraja.
Yeah.
You have to let go of the Chandas. You have to let go of the Varnas.
Varnas.
That means you should not even chant Kayilagrim, Masakagrim, Sakalagrim, either in
Actually, you should not, it's not that you don't chant,
but
from Para Pashyati Madhyami, your Madhyami Vaikari, from Vaikari to Madhyami to Pashyanti to Para you have to go.
Para you have to go.
Where the silence issue has become one with the Shiva, which is called Ajapa.
Ajapa. So to that extent, Samayachara goes and it says you have to go to that level. Only Sadhaka yogis. And who are those people? Only, which means that only in Para you have Bhavani Bhavana Gamya.
In Bhavani, Bhavana, Gamya.
That means she is available. Only Bhavani is available only in your Bhavana. So to reach that Bhavana Shakti, you will have to go through from Saguna to Nirguna and you have to reach all the way up to Sahasrara.
Yes.
Now, in the first 41 shlokas of Soundarya Lahari, Adi Shankara has given the path, the architecture, the framework, the process and technology.
Correct.
To go from Muladhara to Sahasrara and become a Samayachara Jivan Mukta. But a Jivan Mukta is not one. I think in Mandukya you have mentioned this so beautifully that it is not just a Kshana Turiya. It has to become permanent.
Turyatita.
Turyatita.
Kshanaturiya is Samadhi.
Samadhi. Right? So
Turiya is called Samadhi. Turyatita is Jivan Mukta. Sthita.
Jivan Mukta Sthiti. So there is a heart of Soundarya Lahari. There is a shloka called, in 27 shloka called Japo Jalpa Shilpam.
Japo Jalpa Shilpam.
Yes, Japo Jalpa Shilpam. On the shloka. This shloka talks about, for example, in Kannada, there is a beautiful, I think Kanakadasarada, you have to go tell. Kandana Bigidappi Muddadu Talomme Krishna Enabarade. Purandadasa. Krishna, at any given time, every moment in your life, Krishna. Now, like a Halli. Lochagodu Krishna.
Everything is, all sound is nothing but God only.
God only. Anno level ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಅದ್ವೈತಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಲೈಫ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಜಪೋಜಲ್ಪ ಶಿಲ್ಪಂ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡುವ ಜಪವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಿನಗೆ ಮಂತ್ರವಾಗಲಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡುವುದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಿನಗೆ ಮಂತ್ರವಾಗಲಿ ತಾಯಿ. ನಾನು ನಡೆದಾಡುವುದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿನಗೆ ಪ್ರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆಯಾಗಲಿ. ನನ್ನ ಆಹಾರ ಸೇವನೆಯು ನಿನಗೆ ಹವಿಸ್ಸಾಗಲಿ. ನಾನು ಸ್ವೇಚ್ಛೆಯಿಂದ ಮಲಗುವುದು ನಿನಗೆ ಪ್ರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆಯಾಗಲಿ. ಹೀಗೆ he takes whatever I do in the laukika, let it become your sapariya. That means let it become your puja. So this is the shloka. It's called as the heart. There are two shlokas that are the heart. One is the Bhavanitvam. The second one is the Japo Jalpa Shilpam Soundarya Lahari. Now, Lakshmidhara very beautifully says this. What if I, as a normal human being, say that, Amma, I will today make a New Year resolution that whatever I talk becomes your japa. And I keep talking nonsense. And I will go and walk. I'll do marathon, triathlon, and I'll say, let it become your pradakshina. Will it happen? So Lakshmidhara says this does not apply to normal humans.
Yes.
This applies only to Jivan Muktas. And those Jivan Muktas, the use case here is this, that Jivan Muktas in their Samadhi and Turiyatita Sthiti, they are inward doing the Antaryaga.
Yes.
Most of the time. But there are times when they also have to become Bahirmukha. So when they become Bahirmukha, why do they become Bahirmukha? Either because they have a nature's call, or they have to eat, or they have to go and teach the students. Right? There are only certain, because they would have created that Bahirmukate for their exclusive purposes for minimum intervention. So when they go to the Bahirmukha state, they will pray to Devi that in my Bahirmukha state, whatever I talk, let it become your japa.
In only one distinction, Antarmukha ಮತ್ತು Bahirmukha and Bahirmukha applies to Turiya state. In Turiyatita, he has transcended Antarmukha and Bahirmukha. Turiyatita. Turiyatita, there is no question of Antarmukha and Bahirmukha. He has already become one with the divine. Whether he opens his eyes and does work or closes his eyes, there is no question of Antarmukha and Bahirmukha in that case. His life itself is become one with the divine.
But he is in the Antaryagadalli, he will be...
That applies to only Turiya. The Samadhista yogi. Turiyatita means one. There's no coming and going. It's done.
Dakshinamurti.
No, not only just sitting. Acting also is Dakshinamurti.
Correct.
It's like there's no difference between inner and outer. Antar and Bahirmukha illa.
Yes.
That Antarmukha and Bahirmukha applies to Samadhista yogi. Am I clear?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So such a yogi from a Bahya perspective, Adi Shankara is saying such people exhibit the behavior such that they are Laukika. However, inside, right, they are already praying that I don't want to waste a single moment, every moment in my waking state, for example.
Correct.
Let it be your japa.
That's right.
Let it be your, So that is the essence of Soundarya Lahari. To reach Jivan Mukta state and how to conduct ourselves when we come to the Bahirmukha in the Jagrata Avastha. How do we? Basically, this applies to all the rishis, the yogis, everybody. Ramana Maharshi also, for example. Right? So this is the essence of Soundarya Lahari to the extent of Nirguna Upasani. Right? The first 41 shlokas.
So you started with saying somebody says my walk your puja and he goes talks nonsense. You say it doesn't apply to him.
That shloka particularly, this 27th shloka is not for, you cannot misinterpret it.
So I would say even through his mouth the divine mother speaks, but through as Avidya Maya.
Correct.
So as Vidya Maya she speaks through Gnani. So there's no other speaker anyway.
Correct.
By either way,
the Agnani has no realization.
Agnani is not realization.
Correct. So the use case does not apply because there's no awareness. But the truth prevails. Truth prevails. So now, the first 41 shlokas of Soundarya Lahari, we say, are for Nirguna. And the second 59 shlokas are for Saguna. But somebody has to ask the question, why so? Why did he actually write Nirguna first and then go to Saguna? What was the purpose? It was not needed. First 41 mugitala. Why do I go to Saguna again? It's a very important question. Because generally we go from Saguna to Nirguna.
Right.
Why is he going from Nirguna to Saguna? The first thing is that I want to say is that it is not Saguna.
The second part
is not Saguna. Though it appears as Saguna Varnane, Keshadi Padanta Varnane. Why did Adi Shankara write this way? There is a secret. This 42nd shloka onwards is again not for normal people. It is for Jivan Muktas.
Only for Jivan Muktas. Why do they have to hear anything? They are already done. They are done deal.
This is the yogic path. The epistemology here is
first of 52 slokas are Nirguna. Next 48 slokas,
59 slokas.
Next 59 slokas is Saguna. So you are saying next 59 slokas for Jivan Muktas.
It is written for Jivan Muktas. It is not written for it is not applicable for normal people.
Jivan Mukta is already over. What is this? Why he has to listen anything?
For him to visualize, because I'll come to the point. How a Jivan Mukta also visualizes. Here he is not talking about the distinction between Turiya or Turiyatita. Adi Shankara is talking about somebody who is in Samadhi.
Samadhista, not Turiyatita.
Not Turiyatita.
So Turiyatita is Jivan Mukta. Samadhista is still yogi.
Samadhista, because the person who reaches this level,
so that's called yogi.
Sadhaka yogi.
Then you have to tell him.
For him.
That you have to.
For him. Now, Soundarya Lahari says that your basic your journey of Shri Vidya starts at the feet of Devi. ದೇವಿಯ ಪಾದಾರವಿಂದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಜರ್ನಿ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ,
ಅವಳ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ, ಅವಳ ಪಾದ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ ಹೇಗೆ,
ಅವಳ ಪಾದ ನಮ್ಮ
ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ. ಸೊ ಹಗು ತಗೋಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅತಳ ವಿತಳನ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಬಟ್
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಜರ್ನಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ
ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರ.
ಅವಳ ಪಾದವೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಸ್ರನ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಓಕೆ.
ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ 10th ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಆಫ್ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಲಹರಿ, ಸುಧಾಧಾರ ಸಾರೈಹಿ ಚರಣಯುಗಳಾಂತರ್ವಿಗಳಿತೈ ಸೇಸ್ nectar from her mooladhara. The nectar comes to our sahasrara.
Correct.
Right?
That's
So,
right.
which means whether I like it or not, in that samadhi state, my sahasrara always has her feet. That means
Actually, my sahasrara is one with the Virat. Virat is her feet.
Virat is her feet. So which means you visualize her stature, standing as though she is above your head.
Correct. Right.
Standing above your
That's right. That's right.
right. So it starts there, it also ends there.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Right. So 41st shloka also ends there. Because it starts there is the dharana, then it becomes darshana. Finally at 40.
So now I understand.
Yeah.
This is correct. This is actually yogi interpretation correct, but not Jivan Mukti interpretation.
Not the Jivan.
Jivan Mukti doesn't require anything.
Doesn't require anything. Correct. Yeah. So now, to the person who is the sadhaka yogi, who has reached that turiya state, right, who is enjoying the bliss of the mother in the Anandamaya Kosha, he is enjoying the Ananda.
Yes.
What Ananda is written in Ananda Lahari is basically
That's first sloka.
first 41 shlokas, because it's Nirguna.
Yeah.
So Devi you've already transcended the Rupa Tattva.
Right.
When we say Rupa, it is not just the form and function of Agni Rupa.
Right.
It's a form and function of even Akshara.
Akshara.
Even thought, everything. So she's in Bhavani only. So the sadhaka has transcended that.
Correct.
Right? And then now she is available to him at that level. Now, which means he's in the Sahasrara.
Right.
In Sahasrara, everything is transcended and he is visualizing. I think they are unmute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Yeah, continue.
Yes.
So she is Sahasrara.
So now, once that sadhaka yogi gets this, now I'll give another simple example. When we go to a temple, we do namaskar. So what we are doing is basically we are connecting our sahasrara to her pada.
Yes.
So my journey as a child starts that way only, which means there's no way of escaping my sahasrara to her pada.
Right.
So that's why she is always above there, and my pada is always there. So we start that way, but we don't visualize that way.
Yes.
Right. So by design we have to visualize. By default we are already, when you go to a temple, so that means her cosmic, the feet. That's why we say Taniyam Sampamsum Tavacharana Panke Ruhabhavam. From the dust from her lotus feet becomes the entire universe. Is the material given to Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Brahma to create the Chaturdasha Loka. So a tiny speck from her feet becomes the whole universe. Similarly, her feet, Avidyana Mantastimira Mihira Dvipa Nagari. So my avidya, I don't need devatas to do Abhaya and Varada Mudra. Her feet is enough, for taking away my avidya. So which means her Soundarya Lahari is all about worshipping her feet.
Actually, I would like to look at this way. The first 52 slokas, right? 41 slokas is Ananda Lahari.
Correct.
So it's actually explaining the Ananda of a yogi in Samadhi.
Yes.
He has reached Brahmarandra. He has reached Sahasrara. In Pindanda, he has attained the Brahmaloka. Brahman. Okay, he has not become Brahman.
He has not become one with Brahman.
He has attained Brahmaloka and he is experiencing Ananda. And when he opens his eyes, he sees this Bhumandala, and every aspect of creation he sees as a divine mother, form of divine mother. The mountain, river, sun, moon, everything is a form of the divine mother. So his vision of the universe is explained in the Soundarya Lahari part. His vision of there are two layers. First, for 52 slokas is Ananda Lahari. First
41.
First 41 slokas.
41 slokas.
Next 59 slide is Soundarya. So what happens is that first 41 sloka, actually, he has attained samadhi, ananda. That Ananda Lahari is about samadhi ananda. Then that yogi opens his eyes. Then he starts, that's called Vyutana yogi. Samadhi is the yogi and Vyutana yogi. There are two types of yogis. Samadhi means when you go to samadhi and you come back from samadhi. When you come back from the same world which was there, ordinary world, is transformed into Divine Mother's form. The mountain, river, sun, moon, everything is nothing but Divine Mother. So that is called Soundarya Lahari. Now it's so beautiful. She is so beautiful. The universe.
Cosmic beauty.
Cosmic beauty. So first part is Ananda Lahari.
Ananda Lahari.
And second part is Soundarya Lahari. Actually, this is also correct. The first part, Shiva only wrote is correct. Because Samadhi, only one person who can write is Shiva.
Exactly.
Okay?
Perfect.
Then Shankaracharya wrote, the second part means now he is appreciating the Divine Mother. So now he has come from Samadhi. In Samadhi is Shiva. Then he composed it. And when he comes out from Samadhi, he sees the divine glory, the cosmic glory as a divine form. So that he experiences Soundarya Lahari.
That's a Virat.
Virat. He is experiencing Virat. And the mother's feet is in my head. My journey begins there. Means my mother's feet is nothing but, mother is the cosmos, the totality of the universe. I am a Pindanda. The Pindanda and Brahmanda become one in the Brahmarandra, Sahasrara.
Because that becomes the Paravat. Because all the chakras become one.
That's all. So then at that state, when you open your eyes, the entire universe is transformed into Divine Mother's form. That's called Soundarya Lahari.
Absolutely.
So he is asked to visualize. He is experiencing that as a Divine Mother's form.
It is total experience.
Experience. It's got on.
Yes. And in Ananda Lahari, it is.
That's why the first story what he has given. He goes to Shiva and brings Ananda Lahari and he comes up.
So that the first story has a meaning.
Yes.
Okay, the first story meaning I'll tell you. He goes to Shiva Loka. That means Jivatma becomes one with the Paramatma or Shiva. Atma becomes one with Shiva in Samadhi. Samadhi is Ananda. Okay, Nandi means Ananda again. Nandi means the word Nandi means Ananda. The Nandi takes it out. Ananda, stop, come out of Samadhi. And when he comes out of Samadhi, he first in Samadhi he appreciates, he becomes one Shiva. And Nandi takes it out because Nandi has to remove that. You have to come back. Okay, Nandi means Ananda, happiness. So Samadhi Ananda. The Nandi takes it out and tears it. Then the meaning of that is like this. Just experience the Ananda of Shiva is not sufficient. You have to experience the Ananda. You have to experience the Ananda in the world.
Yes.
Okay? Your experience is not enough. You come out. That's why Nandi takes it away. And that book, that Soundarya gets into two pieces. So one part is Ananda, it's called Brahmananda, inner space. And other part is Ananda in the universe. Aham Brahmasmi, one part. That's called first 42 slokas. And Sarvam Khalu Brahma is the next part.
Correct.
Okay? Shivoham is one part. Sarvam Shivamayam, Shive, Jagati Shive is the second part. That's why that's the meaning of Nandi in the inner meaning.
Separated both.
Nandi brings out. Ananda is enough, Ananda, come out. Come out of Samadhi.
Come out of Samadhi, yes.
Okay.
It's very interesting. I should include that in my explanation. Now,
This is not explanation.
no,
This is not explanation. I gave is experience.
experience. Yeah, I have to make it as my explanation. Yeah,
I didn't give explanation.
absolutely. So, Iga, Ananda Lahari, the word Ananda Lahari is given. What is the Ananda? So one is Soundarya, one is Ananda, right? So it is also, there are multiple words used. One is Chidananda Lahari. Chidananda Lahari, right? So Adishakara uses that word, Chidananda Lahari, and Paramahlada Lahari. There are two times he uses these two words. Parama Ahladavannu Koduva Lahari. And it's a waves of bliss. So it's not just bliss, the bliss comes and hits you. Like a wave, right? So as that life, as it is hitting you here, what is being given is basically the gnana, the knowledge, the wisdom.
Yeah.
So and the wisdom, the moment you get that gnana, the realization, that's a eureka moment.
Yes.
That Eureka moment is the Ananda at that moment.
Yes.
Right? So she's giving the Gnana. That's why she's called Shiva Gnana Pradayini in Lalita Sahasranama. She's giving the Shiva Gnana and giving the wherewithal to break the Avarana and Vikshepa.
Yeah.
So that he's able to go to the Shiva Gnana.
Basically, you are saying the moment you realize you are the Aparoksha Gnana, the experience of Aparoksha Gnana is that Lahari, Ananda.
And Aparoksha Gnana, finally, it will lead to Paroksha Gnana. Right? So, by the time he goes to the 41st Loka, right, it becomes Paroksha Gnana.
It is Paroksha Gnana.
Paroksha Gnana.
Will Aparoksha lead to corruption?
No. He has, in Samadhi also, still he has become one momentarily. Now he has to come back. When he comes back, he sees the world. He doesn't get trapped in Maya, but now the world becomes Divine Mother's form. So that's why even the world also is not trapped. Now he is speaking about Anandalahari. Anandalahari. Explain that Anandalahari. That's Anandalahari and Paramahladalahari.
Yes, one second.
No, I'm saying Aparoksha Gnana leads to Paroksha.
No, not. No, I didn't say.
No, I didn't mean that.
After Aparoksha Gnana, it doesn't lead to Paroksha Gnana. Paroksha Gnana leads to Aparoksha Gnana. After Aparoksha Gnana, the world is no longer Maya. World is no longer Mithya. World is labeled Jaganmata Swarupa. See, you start with world is Mithya and Nama Rupa, but finally attained Shiva Swarupa. With Shiva Swarupa, entire world is seen as Shiva Swarupa only, Shakti Swarupa only.
Correct.
That's called Soundarya Lahari.
Soundarya Lahari, and there is no distinction between Shiva
and Shakti.
Shakti Swarupa, and he will gain the Gnana of transcending the Maya.
Yeah, he has transcended Maya.
Transcended Maya.
Yeah.
So, in the whole process of Ananda Lahari, right, because he is going all the way up.
Yeah.
Right, so, and this is Sri Vidya Marga, not just the Yoga Marga, which means.
So, here one question. Ananda is Ananta. How can they be Lahari then?
I think it's more a poetic
expression.
It's poetic explanation, nothing more than that.
Okay.
So, because it is
Lahari means wave. In Ananda, is wave possible or not? Is the question. Ananda matra irtade. Lahari alli namadu prashne.
I think it's more poetic in nature. It's more poetic in nature. Soundarya Lahari. Well, also, at some level, samadhi in Acha bandu matte samadhi hodre matte lahari barbeku.
So basically, that's what he's saying. Ananda Lahari indicates that he is not stabilized in Nirvikal Prasad. He is not stabilized in Jivan Mukti. He is going and coming. So for him, it's Ananda Lahari is less. Okay? That's why it's speaking of as a person, Samadhista yogi. Not Jivan Mukta.
That's why it's a process and a framework.
That's a process. In that process, he experiences Ananda Lahari. Waves. Okay.
It's a process and framework to get to that goal.
Okay.
It's a Six Sigma process. Process. Okay. So, that framework. And finally, Soundarya Lahari is once he establishes Devi from on is this one. So he imagines that she's standing above his head. So it's like a double-decker bus. So she's standing above him on his Sahasrara and he's below.
Yeah.
And from there, it is not Padadi Keshanta, it's Keshadi Padanta.
What is Keshadi Padanta?
Kesha means the 42nd shloka starts from her hair.
Hair.
And last is the feet.
Feet. From top down.
Top down.
Yeah.
So again, it ends in the feet.
Correct.
Devi's feet and my Sahasrara. So there is a beautiful, Upasamhara, or there is a beautiful completion of loop. So it starts with her feet on my Sahasrara.
Yeah.
It ends with her feet on my Sahasrara. So it's very poetic in nature.
Yes.
Right. So we need to, when we understand Soundarya Lahari, there is a poetic nature of Soundarya Lahari.
Yeah. No. But it's not only poetic. It's not it's a reality also.
Yeah.
Reality told in poetic way. Poetic means imagination is not. It's not imagination. Reality is explaining.
And Adi Shankara has made it so poetic. It's in Shikharini Chandas with 17 syllables. With 6 in the first one, we have to give a yati, and then after that 11. So all of them are like that. So Shikharini means she is on the mountain on the Shikhara.
Shikhara.
So she's Shikharini. So Chandas is also Shikharini.
Yes.
On this, and then the first 41 shlokas do not have too much of alankaras, but after 41, 42,
Alankar.
are filled with alankaras. Upamalankara,
Correct.
Atishayokti Prashamsa Alankara, Shlesha Alankara, and multiple alankaras come together and become Sankara.
Yeah.
So alankaras are embedded. So what I'm trying to say is Adi Shankara, at one level we say he's a sannyasi, he lived for 32 years. To compose something as magnificent as Soundarya Lahari, he should have been a Mahakavi himself.
Yeah, he's great.
So no, we can only wonder.
Yeah.
We can only wonder I'm talking from a normal human being.
Yeah,
so we can wonder to say what a composition this is.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And it is filled with totally Sri Vidya. It is filled with yogic and Sri Vidya tradition, Samayachara, Raja Yoga, and finally Ananda Lahari. And to experience the cosmic beauty of Soundarya Lahari, of Devi, what kind of preparation you need is given in the first 41 shlokas.
Beautiful.
ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯದ ಎಸ್ಥೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ will become understanding and experiencing sacred feminine is so important for us.
Definitely.
So because most of our spiritual what do you say phenomenologies are all patriarchal in nature. So divine.
No, not in India.
Not in India.
Not in India.
It's been removed.
Yeah.
It's been removed.
It's all these societies are different.
Yes.
In India, mother first.
Correct. At some level.
At all levels.
ದ್ವೈತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ದ್ವೈತದಲ್ಲೂ ಸೀತಾರಾಮ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಶಿವಶಕ್ತಿಯರನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಸಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಯಂಟ್ Lakshmi is always...
It's not subservient.
It is supporting role.
It's the way it is depicted. To the father, mother is the first. Mother is closer to us. Then comes the father.
A laptop, I think that's disturbing. Churi kade ittbitre.
What laptop?
Adu. The last.
Just move it. So, I don't know whether people's view. For me, when Rama and Sita are depicted, Sita is the mother, Shakti, then way to Rama. Okay? Divine mother is always way to the father. That way, it is showing the hierarchy of relation, not the hierarchy of living.
Not hierarchy of living. Hierarchy of what is being shown today. What is Shakta Shaiva illide. Equally.
Okay.
ಈ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ how people perceive. And how people look at. For example, Gayatri ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ತ ಪರಂಪರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಅವರ ಪರಂಪರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂರ್ಯನಾರಾಯಣ. ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಫೆಮಿನೈನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಸಾವಿತ್ರ ನಾರಾಯಣ. ಸವಿತ್ರ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸವಿತಾ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಸವಿತ ನಾರಾಯಣನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಸವಿತ್ರ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸವಿತ್ರ ನಾರಾಯಣಿ. It's not a masculine. It's a Savitra, the word. It comes from Savita.
Correct, Savita.
Which comes from Prasavita. One who has given birth to the entire universe. Which is the mother. Narayana in the mother's form is Narayan. People may not say that, but they don't say that. They don't say that.
That's the whole point.
It is Narayana and Narayani are not different.
ತತ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ. ತತ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. But I'm talking about the larger population. How this whole theology is being explained to larger population is more patriarchal in nature. It's only the Shakta and Shaiva where we glorify Shakti and keep her one level above. Soundarya Lahari is about that. The same Shivananda Lahari is about him being the
correct.
He has reached idu. So ಆ ಒಂದು
Guruji. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಥಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಪ್ಟ್. ನೀವು ದೇವಡ ಬರ್ದದ್ದು ಯಾಜ್ಞವಲ್ಕರ ಸ್ಮೃತಿ ಓದಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತೃ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಯಾಜ್ಞವಲ್ಕರ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತಂದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಅದ್ವೈತ
ನಾನು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ.
ದೇವರು ಮಹಾದರ್ಶನ
ಮಹಾದರ್ಶನ
ಮಹಾದರ್ಶನ, ಯಾಜ್ಞವಲ್ಕರ ಮಹಾದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ವಲ್ಕರಿಗೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಹೆಂಡತಿಯರಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು, ಕಾತ್ಯಾಯನಿ ಮೈತ್ರೇಯಿ.
ಕಾತ್ಯಾಯನಿ ಮೈತ್ರೇಯಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗಾರ್ಗಿ ಕೂಡ, ಗಾರ್ಗಿ ಸಹ ಸಮಾನವಾದವಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಗಾರ್ಗಿ ಕೂಡ ಅವರನ್ನ ಪತಿಯಾಗಿ ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ? ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಪುರುಷರಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಗಳು ಕೂಡ ವಾದಿನಿಯರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಾದಿನಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ನನಗೆ ಗುರುಗಳ ಈ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ, ನಾವು ಮಾತೃಕಾರ ಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನ, ನೀವು ದ್ವೈತ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದ್ವೈತ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಮಾನ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹನುಮನ್ನ ಸಮವಾಗಿಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಆದಿಶೇಷನ ಸಮವಾಗಿಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಜ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಬನ್ನಂಜೆ ಗೋಪಾಲಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಏನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದ್ವೈತದಿಂದ ಅದ್ವೈತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದೇ ನಿಜವಾದ ಸಾಧನೆ ಅಂತ ಬನ್ನಂಜೆಗಳು ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ರೂ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಹ ದ್ವೈತದಿಂದ ಬಂದವಳೆ, ಗುರುಗಳು ಸಹ ಮಧ್ವ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯದಿಂದ ಬಂದವರೇ ಸಹ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗ್ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯಾ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಅಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಅಂತ.
ಹೂ ಬಿತ್ತದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಓ, ನಮ್ಗಿಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಆಯ್ತ್ರಿ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ. ದಡಕ್ಕಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೂ ಅದು? ಯಾಕೆ ಸಿಡು? ಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೂ ಪಡಕ್ಕಂತ ಬಿದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ತನಕ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ,
ಇಷ್ಟೇ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಗುರುಜಿಸ್.
ಜನ ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ತತ್ವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ತಾಯಿ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯ. ಮಗುವಿಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಬದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ತಂದೆಯ ದರ್ಶನ.
ಹೌದೌದು,
ಅಷ್ಟೇ,
ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದಲೇ ತಂದೆ. ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಹೊಳಿತು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್, ಇದು ಲಿಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆತ್ಮವು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಆತ್ಮ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು, ಸ್ತ್ರೀ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ ಯೋಗಿನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್, ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಯೋಗಿನಿಲಿ ಗೀ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಯೋನಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪುರುಷನಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದರೆ ಯೋಗಿನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಯೋಗಿ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ. So which means that as Atma, we have the capacity to reproduce. We have the capacity. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಗಿ ಯೋನಿ ಎರಡೂ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಯೋಗಿನಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇವೆ. So yogini by form is a feminine form. So Atmavu now, as Atma we are feminine actually.
As a Jivatma.
As a Jivatma we are feminine.
As a Jivatma we are ಸ್ತ್ರೀ, correct. Because ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ವ ರಜಸ್ ತಮಸ್ 3 ಗುಣ ಇದೆ. ಸತ್ವ ರಜಸ್ ತಮಸ್ 3 ಗುಣಗಳಿರುವ ಜೀವಾತ್ಮ ದೇಹದೊಳಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜೀವಾತ್ಮರು ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯೇ. ಹೌದು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜೀವಾತ್ಮರು ಯೋಗಿನಿಯರೇ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜೀವಾತ್ಮಗಳು ಗೋಪಿಕೆಯರೇ. ಗೋಪಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಭಗವಂತನ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿರೋರು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರೇ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆತ್ಮನಾಗಿ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮನಾಗಿ ದೇಹವೆಲ್ಲ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿಲ್ಲ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜೀವಾತ್ಮನಾಗಿ ಸ್ತ್ರೀ. ಹುಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾರೆ.
ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ
ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ
ಮುಗಿಸೋಣ.
ಇದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 1 ಆಯ್ತು. ಇನ್ನು ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್. ಇದು ಪೀಠಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದು
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮೂಡ್ ಬಂತು ಗುರುಜಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. So since you told about the spiritual journey and all, and Soundarya, in my childhood I had a religious environment, not a spiritual environment. My father will chant Rama's name, my mother will sing some bhajans. The one bhajan is about Rama story. My childhood is Rama story is bhajan, this thing, her lullaby. So somewhere she installed deep devotion in me without knowing. And right from childhood I had a deep desire for yoga. I don't know anywhere yoga, yoga in my background. One picture, one photo of yogi is there. I used to take photo and sit in that posture, Padmasana. Nowhere, it's only just pictures. So Gadaka publication had one book on yoga, Gadag. So I used to take picture and sit.
I
was in My early childhood was in Karkala, Mulki.
Oh,
Karkala and Mulki. Puttur. So I studied up that. So somewhere there's a deep attraction for yoga. Okay, without anybody telling. And we came to Davangere, and first thing I went to in Davangere, first from a small city of Karkala, I came to Davangere. First thing I recognized one yoga. Somebody is teaching yoga. So I joined that. The yoga master name is Shane. So he was teaching yoga every day. Get up in the morning, take cold water bath, come to school, yoga class, and do yoga. And very good yoga teacher he was. I learned many yoga asanas for many years. Getting at 4:30, taking cold water bath, running for yoga, doing yoga, then come to school. This was my life. And everybody in my classmates were attracted to cricket commentary and all those things. Movie songs. I have no attraction to that. Okay. I didn't have any attraction for. I can play cricket, but I can't listen to cricket. Then I was a very good reader. I can read so many books in very short time. So what happened in my early childhood? Somehow I knew about mind, everything about mind, mastery of the mind and all. So I tried out many things, hypnosis, past life, going past life. At the age of 5th standard, 6th standard only, I was able to try out this.
I see.
Nobody had to teach me. Then after travel, going out,
Correct.
all those things I knew.
Okay, out of body experience.
Out of body, all those things I knew. And I also knew intuitively something will happen in the future.
Correct.
Those things were there. But it didn't appear to me as something special. It appeared to be normal to me.
Extrasensory perception was normal.
Exercise was very normal.
Normal sensory perception.
So that was right. When I could understand about the human mind much younger age, even before human mind started, when I was right, I had explored most of the things about human mind by the age of 11. Understood. And I wanted to know what is meditation. I went to one meditation school somewhere. Somehow I didn't like it. So meditation happened. Then one day, when I was in, I think 7th, 8th standard or so, 8th or 9th, one announcement was there. Kundalini Yoga will be taught by one Yogi Maharaj. It is in Davangere. So I wanted to go there. Then when I go there, the condition was that you have to come early in the morning, Brahmi Muhurta. Then you have to come you have to bring a kaupina, white cloth, 1 meter, 2 meter, this thing. So 1 meter cloth is required. You have to bring a kaupina and white cloth. Now the problem for me was where to get this white cloth from. Okay, and he given the kaupina. So I didn't know what to do. Then I paired with one of my friends. We went to a shopkeeper. At that time, it was 1 rupee or 1.5 rupees for that 5 meter, 1 meter. So on installments, I'll give the white cloth because I can't tell my father. The moment I tell my father, he'll be suspect something. I can't tell. And we are understanding shopkeeper. Every month I'll give 25 paisa to you, and brought the cloth. We went there. And he initiated me to Kundalini Yoga. First part of my life was Hatha Yoga, not continuing Hatha Yoga. Then Kundalini Yoga I got initiated. And he was a yogi whom I have never seen, only once. Yeah, initiated gone. So at that time I didn't know what is Kundalini, but I knew I have to get something. Got initiated. So I didn't practice it much time, but something happened. So then I continued for like this. And my life was hard in the sense we were coming from a lower middle class family.
Right.
And we are 6 children. My father was having health issues. I was practically taking up responsibility for my family, very young age. And also in the school I have to get a good mark. The teachers were poor. So then I used to teach my classmates. I became their teacher. So in the process of teaching, my learning became better. So I understood my first lesson of my life. If I have to get something, I have to give to others. That was lesson. So that's how it continued. But gradually it grew up like that. Then I went to IIT for my master's. Then I came back. Then I joined a company called C. where a lot of technology research was being done. in the technology research when I did. And it was for me, that work was a service offering to the country. I never thought it's work. So, Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, it became Karma Yoga, unknowingly.
See, that was a government organization.
Yeah. Technology research.
Yeah.
So one day I saw a meditation class is there. So that then I wanted to go there to the meditation class. First I didn't know what is background required. I called up there Pasaponam. There's a lady, her name is Vichara. I still remember the name of the lady. Can I come to the class? Is that prerequisite? She didn't say anything. She said, Baba has told. Baba is Baba Muktananda, who is a disciple of Baba Nityananda. Baba has told, those who are destined will come. That's all she said. She didn't say whether I can come or not. Then I decided to go there. Right? I went to the meditation. It was a meditation session and all. I went in a couple of sessions. One day they asked, there's a cassette of Baba Nityananda students decided talking. Cassette, old cassette. Baba Nityananda is a Ganesh Priya. He is considered a,
That's him.
Avtar. He was, about him, he was in the Kanjanagadu. In Kanjanagadu, it is a beautiful temple there and caves are there. Many caves he constructed for seekers to come and meditate. The story is that he's Avaduta. No consciousness of body, only Kaupina. So he wanted a school, British time, he wanted a school for children. I asked him to construct a school. So when people don't have money, then he'll just take from Kaupina and give the money to them. So then somebody went and complained to Britishers. He is stealing money from somewhere. So then he was brought and he was put in a jail. And the moment the gate was closed, he was out of the jail. He was locked inside, but he was outside. So then he decided that Kanjanagad is not the place, and he went straight in Ganeshpuri. Maharashtra, Bombay, from about 80 kilometers from Bombay. So there, he spent his rest of his life. He was, there's a Shakti Pita, Ganeshpuri. He spent there. And he had a disciple called Baba Muktananda. Baba Muktananda went to America and he established a center in New York. The guru of that, his disciple is called Guru Mai, a woman. She became the disciple. Her satsang was happening in Bangalore. They asked me, can you translate this cassette? Because they wanted somebody who knows 3 languages, Kannada, Konkani, and Tud. 3 languages they spoken in the cassette. So I said, I will do that because I know these 3 languages. Then they gave the cassette to me. And how much? 40 minutes. For me at that time, my career was at peak. I have to struggle hard. Working 6 days or 7 days is not 40 minutes also very valuable. I said, 40 minutes I can manage. I took the cassette and I realized that this 40 minutes is not possible because old cassette, very noisy and rewinding. It took me almost 40 hours to record it.
I know.
Okay, stop.
Yes.
I was relieved that but that 40 hours became a service to Baba. Unknowingly. Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, and that Kundalini got awakened straight away. Nothing, no effort. But what happened was my body was prepared. My body was prepared already through yoga. Awakening is very smooth because there's no effort required. So what was happening is my office, I was given a very second-class job where I have to observe the noise in the system, record the noise, and how to how to control the noise, which is very required, very complicated for telecom system. Signal processing. But nobody was interested to do. That was given to me. In office, I used to observe the noise patiently, sakshi. I used to come home till 9 o'clock. I'll work office, then come back at 9 o'clock in the night. Then 9 to 11, 1, I used to meditate. So, same Sakshi Baba at home. Same
How it's designed for you.
Work and meditation became same. I didn't know what meditation is. I just sat, observing what's happening inside. Suddenly, the awakening happened. Okay. My energy rose to here. Sahasrara, straight, no hiccups. And when I opened my eyes, this was Ananda. Then I opened my eyes, Soundarya. The whole world was nothing but divine form. I'm connected to everything as Shakti. Okay, that happened within half an hour. Soundarya and Shivananda. Okay, whatever you're explaining, it was not explanation. That happened within half an hour, 45 minutes. But of course, that preparation went on for many lifetimes. Okay, I would have done in last lifetime sadhana, and this lifetime also I've done everything happened.
I can totally understand, relate to it also.
Then whatever, my life got transformed. Whatever I see is oneness. Everything. I knew that everybody looks life in a different way, and I look in life differently. Oneness. And that is called Shivanand, Soundarya. Everything is the divine form. The world is nothing but energy, Shakti. And in the conscious Shiva. So that's where I first, without knowing this thing, I wrote a book called Miracle of Witness Consciousness as a manuscript for Shiva Sutra. I wrote it. That was in my. So these things happened. Then what happened? Many divine experiences, many experiences, coincidences, we can't call coincidences, many experiences happened. I knew something is still missing. I have individuality. The individual is not dissolved. I was looking for something. Then one day, I felt I had to go and go to darshan of this person, this Ajja, that photo, Uttarajan. He was a recluse. Advaita. I met him. She asked me, inquire who you are. Even in that oneness, the Jiva Bhava is there, but oneness is there. There is Vishishta Advaita Anubhava, not Advaita Anubhava. He asked me, who are you? That's all. So suddenly, that I concept dropped. And now there's no longer oneness or two-ness. There's only one reality.
Shiva.
Even Shiva, you can't say.
You can't say that.
So that remained.
Beyond that also.
That remained. So then many students start coming. They came for their own daily house troubles, marriage trouble and all. I started teaching them in various ways. So gradually started going to satsang. And she came. She said, I have to record this. Where she came from, I don't know. She made sure that everything I spoke was recorded. More than 12 years of sadhana, intense sadhana. I would say only Divine Mother had come in her form. Her own family, everything, she lives in some place, comes there, does the recording. And many people used to come to my house. My wife used to take care of them. This big house became like a Gurukula. She never one day complained. No, never one day. Okay. People used to come, take food and go. No, nothing. Gradually it became like a Gurukula only. And no money transaction, nothing. Doing 5 days I'm office, weekend I'm house, somebody will come. So this happened. And my children also grew up in that environment, my 2 daughters. So because thanks to her, a huge body of, and she made sure that everything is recorded and everything is transmitted to people. I don't think she also knows. So Sri Vidya, Divine Mother was operating through her. Correct. Okay. And I had gone through a lot of trouble in life. I started a business, it collapsed. No job, no money, criminals, police. It's called Agni Parisha.
I know, I've gone through all this.
And Agni Parisha was required for me.
Correct.
And that gave me, oh my God, I'm not, nothing is affecting me. Everything is coming and passing. And everywhere I'm able to see that God's play. So that Agni Parisha is a real test. You have mukti or what? I didn't even know concept of Jivan Mukti. But I was already one.
You're living it.
I'm living it. Nobody had to explain. All these concepts of Vedanta, I didn't study from anybody. So then what happened? For teaching purpose of students, I started taking some textbook and start.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I got attracted to Bannanji Govindacharya, I got attracted to some Arshvidya Kendra. But most of my knowledge is just
Dayananda Saraswati.
Arshvidya Kendra, Dayananda Saraswati. Some few classes.
Correct.
But that was my introduction. But also I don't have formal addiction. I look at the book, and I tell the meaning.
Same with me also. I understand.
So many students, and over a period of time, it became huge, this thing, knowledge base, 15,000 videos. I mean, I would say she has put about 25,000 hours of work.
Wow.
Okay, in spite of her family, instead of this thing. I think somewhere Divine Mother got pleased with her. Okay. So, last couple of days, I would say from January 22nd onwards, so Divine Mother appears to her. Kamakshi. Okay, it was her life was social life was getting disturbed. Anywhere she appears anywhere. And I requested Mother only have to appear or show to people when I request to make sure that her social life is not affected. Now that Divine Mother and have an agreement. Okay, so wherever when
So,
I
non-disclosure.
MOU. So now Divine Mother appears and I invoke. Otherwise, the Divine Mother is sitting and watching. That's what happened. So this is January 22nd. Today we are February 18th. One thing or other thing is happening in our house.
I see.
Okay. When last 30 years, something is happening in our house. So this is a new series. Divine Mother coming. And when the invokes, Divine Mother appears fully with all the manifestations. For the Kamakshi. Okay. I didn't have think too much about Kamakshi so far. So today morning I decided, myself and my wife, and she will go to Kamakshi temple in Madurai. Okay. She had gone to Kamakshi temple, Kanchi. She had gone to Kamakshi temple, what date, January? December 27th, she had gone. There she had an intense experience. Okay. Other people are afraid. In this case, she had become almost like a, other people are afraid. Nobody knows what is there. So then, when she came here, she was going through mental turbulence. Okay. She told me, she asked me to heal. Please heal me. Then I said, I'm not a healer. I'm just I teach Vedanta. I don't know anything about healing. So then, her request for healing, suddenly a science of healing, a methodology of healing appeared to me. A complete, what I call healing emotions. So that I started offering as a course. And many people are getting benefited from that. This also started subsequent to January 15th or something, or the January. Then on January 22nd, I remember the date. What to do with healing, I didn't know. Okay. Then I said, Ganesha is the Adidevata for healing. Ganesha. Because Ganesha is nothing nervous system. Head here and trunk here. So that Ganesha which is there, near right to Shivlinga, see Ilgunji Ganesha.
Oh, Ilgunji Ganesha. Yes,
so that day, I prayed to Ganesha, invoked Ganesha, and did a Aarti, and requested for healing. That was 9:30 to 11:30. At 12:30, on the post, I received Prasadam from Idgunji. Some time back, I had given some Kanike to Idgunji. At 12:30, Harora, it comes. So we got a blessing also. And what happened? The healing emotions courses become very popular. If I speak of Brahman or Vedanta, nobody will come. But healing emotions, it's like so many people have started coming, and everyone getting benefit also. And this thing happened. So in the meanwhile, this lady, the healing started, and healing is at first level, all pent up emotions will come. The crying, shouting will happen. That happened. People can misunderstand it. Shouting was very loud. Okay.
Yes.
Then nervous system Kundalini started rising. Because since I understand that, I was able to observe. In the Kundalini, the moment Kundalini started, the whole body started doing various yogic postures, very complex yogic postures. She has not done yoga.
That's
yogic postures. Yogic postures itself.
Okay.
Various body goes through various yogic postures. Yeah. So, and I was afraid that her bone will break. That much of complex postures. But I recorded it. As an engineer, I started recording it also. Then started mudras, various divine mudras.
I saw her in the
Right? Mudras started coming. Then I remembered shloka from Lalita Sangha. Dashamudra Samaradhya. So Lalita Devi is invoked to Dashamudra. Sama Aradhya.
Yes.
But for me, the word got changed. Dashamudra Samahita. When Devi comes, she is indicating to Dashamudra. Samahita. He is coming with some Dashamudra. It's not showing Dashamudra. So actually, you show Dashamudra, Samaradhya. But when Devi is Samahita, that happened. So I started recognizing that. Then what happened? Whatever Devi name I chant, suddenly that form comes. Feels full form. That bhava, everything. And personality, what she is there, completely changes. The Devi form. So then I understood. Devi has blessed her. Divine Mother has blessed her. I didn't know why Divine Mother is blessed to come to our house. What is that I have done? What is the reason? I didn't know. Okay, so of course I have done a lot of good amount of sadhana, good amount of service, and also have this deep desire to serve more and more people through that. So
That question should not be an answer.
then I'm saying answered. See, Divine Mother appeared through her.
Agree.
Divine Mother has come to my house. So then I requested Divine Mother, her life is getting disturbed. Social life, because she has to live in the society. Please hide yourself. Then other people are there. Do not show your face to anybody.
Correct.
Okay? Those who unqualified people don't show. When the qualified people is there, I will invoke it. Otherwise, this satsang happens, Divine Mother comes in, listens silently. When I invoke her, she will have prayer full form. This is what happened. And the Kamakshi Devi is happening. So Soundarya is related to Kamakshi also. Correct. So I thought there's a connection before you came. Why you came here?
Totally.
And
Yes.
she was she in that divine form, she gets the bhava, but no knowledge, nothing. It's just simple bhava. Various bhava appears. Okay, and I gave name to her. You are Srividya. Okay, Srividya Devi appearing through this body. So her spiritual name is Srividya. And I had earlier told her, your name is Gayatri. She didn't agree. So Divine Mother Gayatri is not because you are a human being. Gayatri is operating through you. That's why all this work. It's not at all easy to record 15,000 talks and upload it. So Divine Mother Gayatri is operating through you. And 1 week back, I called her, you're not Gayatri, you're Srividya. Srividya is Gayatri, only I came to know today. So this is the story so far.
Beautiful.
So many things happen. Every day something new thing happens. So today is the new thing here. You're coming and telling about that.
Srividya Gayatri, both are same. No difference. Only if I can spend 1 minute on that. Tat is Parabrahma Vachaka.
Yeah.
Kakara is Parabrahma Vachaka.
Kakara. 1 minute. Kakara.
Kakara Rupa Kalyani. Kalyana Gunashalini in Trishati. Ka, Ila Hrim, Ka is basically Parabrahma Vachaka. And that is given by Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara has written a Vyakhyana for Trishati. He has not written for Lalita Sahasranama. Interestingly. He's written for Trishati. 300 weeks. In that first is Kakara. She is Kakara Rupa. So that means Kaya Ilahrim, Srividya mantra is Ka. Ka is basically Parabrahma Tattva Vachaka. So that is given in Chandogya Upanishad. That is Kam Brahma, Kam Brahma.
Kam Brahma, Kam Brahma.
Right?
Space is Brahma.
Yeah, space is Brahma.
Kam Brahma is earth element.
Correct.
Kam means earth. Kakara is Pratitattva Vachaka. Sam is space Vachaka.
Akash.
From Prati to Akasha is Brahma Vachaka.
Brahma Vachaka. So from that perspective, it is Brahma Vachaka. So from the Vachaka perspective, or from the Artha perspective, the first word Tat and Kakara are the same.
Tat and
Kakara are the same. Similarly, Ekara, Savitru, both are same because both are Shaktitva. By saying Ka and A, and by saying Tat Savitru, then Varenyam, Bhargo, they say like that, all the 24 can be related to the Artha is the same as Vabbhavakota. Ka E Lahrim. Similarly, Hasaka Lahrim is again ತತ್ಸವಿತರ್ವರೆಣ್ಯಂ ಭರ್ಗೋ ದೇವಸ್ಯ ಧೀಮಹಿ. ಸಕಲ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಭರ್ಗೋ ದೇವಸ್ಯ ಧೀಮಹಿ. ಸೊ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ in its artha swarupa, which is the devata, and Kayela Hrim in the devata form are the same. So Lalita Tripura Sundari and Gayatri are the same. It is said that somehow there is actually a shloka called Kamo Yoni Kamala Vajrapanir Guha something in, I think, Atharvediya Shaktopanishad. Atharva Vediya Shaktopanishad. That actually talks about Kayela Hrim Hasakalari. And it is said that somehow this is Sri Vidya mantra is such a guhya mantra, is such a rahasya mantra. Somehow through sanketatmaka way you are able to bring it out. Somehow ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಸಂಕೇತಾತ್ಮಕ ಆಚೆ ತರಬಹುದು. ಆಚೆ ತಂದಾಗ ಅದು ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಆಚೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಸತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ದೇವಿ ನಿನ್ನೊಳಗಿದಾಳಪ್ಪ, ಅವಳು ಒಬ್ಳಿಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೇನು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂತ. ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಜಗನ್ಮಾತೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಲು. ಮೊದಲು ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಇತ್ತಂದು ಗೊತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಇವ್ರ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಲೈಕ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಟರ್ಮಾಯಿಲ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಇದೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅದು ರೀಕನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಸೊ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಈಗ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯಾ ಬಂದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಈ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ, ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯಾ ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯಾ ದೇವತೆ ಬಂದ ನಮ್ಮನೆಗೆ, ನನಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ಭಾಗ್ಯವೋ ಯಾವ ಪುಣ್ಯವೋ ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಯ ನೀವು ಬಂದು ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯಾ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ.
ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ನಾವು ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅವಳೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೇನು ನಾವು ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸರ್, ಇದು ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ಮಾತ್ರ.
ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್.
ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್.
So can stop this, Gayatri.
So nice. So what's the next